You got me singing in my head when I dream about you dancing. You got me singing with the best. My love for you is endless. I know it was really rough to fight, and I hope we can find our love tonight. You give your heart to me when you can. Yeah, and if anybody else can make this right, it would only be us, and we'll be alright if we only share the things that we're not saying. Hey, so now again, I'll break down the road and rules. Give it up when you lose, 'cause you grew to my bad side. Give it up or don't take it slow. Tell them no, 'cause you never say no. Give in to God, let's fly high. Good day, everybody. Woo! Foxy heard me singing. Yeah! She's like, what's going on in here? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Laura FM TV, SPTV live YouTube series. So hello and welcome. We're here on episode 19. I'm very excited. We have an actual SPTV party. That sounds better. We have an SPTV party on our channels today. First we're going to start off with the one and only Miss Amy Scobee! Hi, welcome, Amy!
Good. Did you see what I put as my name?
Amy AM. I did not see that. This is excellent. You are finally getting the memo.
And I wore black because my choices are goldenrod or black, right? So
yes.
Black.
I love that.
Have goldenrod pants on.
Look at, same. I got, and you know what else? I'm pretty stacked up. I'm feeling real sunshiny and goldenrod-y today.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And not to mention, you know, just in case we get too sunshiny, I got protectors. Yeah. I got the protectors. Cool. So this is so fun. Hi, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Liz, it's a day for gold. That is dang right. Yeehaw. Wow. What a fun. So this episode. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I was just going to quickly say, you made me an admin, so I'm going to pop stuff up every once in a while.
I really love that. Me and Amy work very sweetly together, and I trust whatever the heck she does. Foxy, of course, she's got to pick up that bone and start. If you guys can hear it and it's really annoying, just tell me, and she'll stop. She's got it. She understands now. She's like, oh, I should go up on the bed.
We should.
Is your mic on? It's crackling. Is it crackling now? Is it crackling now, everybody? Is it really? Maybe it's these headphones. That's what it probably is.
Okay.
Here, and I'll turn that off. How about that?
Oh, I think that might have made the difference.
Okay, good.
And I'll just let us know. You know, somebody just let us know if you hear anything.
Yes.
I think that's better.
Okay, good. So, hi, everybody. This is episode 19, and we are again talking about the Int Ranch Cadets, or the Int Ranch Base, the Gold Base, also known as Happy Valley, or the Cadet Org at the Int Ranch, or the Gold Base, or Golden Air Productions, or the headquarters. I mean, we could go on, right? There's many names for this very, very easy to find, put on the map address. Mm-hmm. And yet they have like 50 names. I noticed David Miscavige himself likes to change not only what people call him a lot, like even his internal office and stuff, but just in general, Scientology always is changing the official names of things after they've been, you know, kind of classified as this thing that create, like the whole, you know what I mean? It's not called, or the RPF wasn't called the RPF. Even though you were worse than on the RPF if you were at the whole, etc., etc. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they change it around all the time.
I mean, yeah, so there's always like a new name. I mean, they do that even with Scientology language.
I know, it's a cult thing.
It's yeah. Cult thing, is that what it is? It's a cult. It's a cult thing, guys.
Totally. Who else does that?
I was wondering. And I'm like, Miss Therapist. I was going to say Miss. I was like, Mister. I have like 3. Yeah, that's so interesting. What is a cult thing? These things we're learning. Oh, my goodness. So here we are, guys. We're on episode 19. Just for fun, 19, you know, because I put that there, 19. It doesn't mean anything official, but how amazing we're doing in life about speaking out and having our channels and being who we are when we can, which is most of the time since we're not locked in Scientology cult land.
Yeah.
Woo! So, 19, we're talking about Int Ranch Cadets Gold Base Parents Talk, and I call this an SP TV party because I'm going to have a few guests coming up here and there, popping in. And these are definite Goldenrod baby certified SPs who are very happy as well. Amy, you definitely got declared an SP, right?
Oh, yeah, I got my goldenrod right over here.
No, yep. You haven't. Oh, can you? Are you able to send me? Can you send me a picture of both, like all the pages or whatever it is of yours and Matt's goldenrods?
Yeah, yeah. You can.
I just because I'm also just so you know out there, y'all all listening. Hi guys, yes, I see all you cuties in the chat. Hi.
Okay, so now people are saying they can't hear me, and you're really loud. So we need to go in between on both of ours.
Okay, I'll just be quieter, which is almost impossible.
No, turn your microphone down, and I'm turning mine up.
I just did a little bit. I just turned mine down a little bit.
So I just want everyone to concentrate on what we're saying rather than our volume.
Laura, you are too damn loud. Okay, well, there you go, guys.
Can't hear Amy. That's so weird.
Okay, you turn you. Yeah, it's okay.
Let me just see. Okay, that says all the way up. So I'm going to go here. Everyone just let us know if you can hear me right now. Can't hear Amy. I have no idea why. I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, boo-boo.
Okay, let me see. Okay, that's all the way up. And I don't want to be all the way up.
It's not a mic problem. That's what Cornelius Antonia said. I think we just keep going, honey.
I think so, too. Okay, everyone, we're just going to keep going. And, you know, I don't know.
Miranda says I can hear you, and I trust her. So
okay.
That's all. That's you know. And yeah, see, I can hear you. You're real quiet, Lone Dinosaur. Which one? You said you are real quiet. It's most likely not me.
It says Laura's really loud and can hardly hear Amy.
Amy, what's the volume on your computer? Like if you were tapping up the volume, is it really low or high?
I'm at 51.
Why don't you just?
No, that's not. 1 second. Let me go into my speakers. 1 second. Let me see.
But I feel like I would hear you as well if you were really low. You know what I mean? So.
I know. I don't know.
This is good, guys. No, we really appreciate it. We love you. Shelly just said, Amy is great. Laura is just louder. We will just deal with it.
Okay, that sounds good.
You know, Shelly, someone who finally just appreciates it.
It's funny. Okay, well,
Laura. They say Laura. My name is Lara, guys. L-A-R-A.
Laura.
Shenanigans are over. Okay, so, yeah, so let's talk about, we're going to get into this beautiful SPTV party where we can shout. I have Jeffy here in the room as well. Hi, Jeffy Hawkins. I'm going to pull him up, too. And just because I know that I'm going to add you. Hi, Jeff. I'm just going to mute you for the moment.
All right.
Just because... there is this delay and everything, and I just overnighted Jeffy his own microphone that was gifted to me from he's Blow Drill on here, but he has his own channel as well, but Dylan Gill. And I was like, oh my god, I'm overnighting this to Jeff because we love hearing Jeff, but obviously what a cutie with the attitude. That's so cool, Jeff. Now you're unmuted, so now you can go ahead and I'll mute me.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love that cup. I was just saying, oh, wow. What a cute cup you got there. Isn't that cool how you can just turn whatever you want into this? I love stickers because you can have something that you kind of want. A sticker, I love that because you can put it where you want it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, my gosh. That's so sweet. And even look at, and it's so funny because we're all like, this is originally Apostate Alex's cup mug, and then I stuck the SPTV stickers and stuff on it as well. So it's like it's more, everybody can do the Dream Love. Jeffy Hawkins has got the Dream Love Lara FM CD.
And there it is on my, whatever, I can't even point to it, right here.
Oh yeah, right there, I can see that.
There it is.
Cute.
There it is.
Hi, good. Okay, good. Everybody says they can hear us now. Oh, Jeff is Lara's choosing dad. That's so cute, Cornelius. Jeff, you have such a sweet father love. Like, there's something, even, I've said this before on our things, there's something about, and I was just telling Amy, it's hard for me to accept compliments or like, your music's so great, unless like I really trust that you get what I'm talking about and stuff. Like, it's hard for me. I'm like, there's some weird thing from Scientology that screwed that up for me a bit. But for me, I truly feel like Jeff, even in the Gold Base with my mom and whoever else, still had your like loving personality. And I don't know if that's because you like had a child of your own that even if you weren't with a lot or whatever, I don't know if it's because of that, but yes, definitely you make me feel very safe and very easy to hear knowledge from you.
Great. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You're cutie patootie. Okay, so welcome, Jeff. And I just told everybody we're doing episode 19. We're talking about Int Ranch cadets. We're talking about the parents of the cadets, and most of these parents were at the Gold Base. So obviously, Amy and Jeff have a lot of experience at the Gold Base and being on multiple different. I was going to say comm lines. They were on, because my mom used to always use that word. Oh, well, she's on the executive comm lines. You know, she would just change the wording to comm line and make it even her own. Like, oh, those aren't her comm lines. Like, oh, she's a non-Scientologist, so she has WOG comm lines. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, so yeah. I was going to say you guys were on many different posts, not different posts, but different positions where you were being able, not being able to, but being forced in a non-aware way to be doing all these kinds of jobs. So you know a lot of the parents that were on post positions from the Int Ranch Cadet Org specifically. And not only that, but you guys also know a lot of people that later came on, people that were sent to the RPF at different times, and possibly you'll know why, which will be really great. And then later on, sorry, I'm reading some of the cute comments. Later on, we'll also have, Mr. Jackson jumping in. He'll give us some good insight. And then we may or may not have Miss Claire Headley herself, which will be really exciting because it will be nice to get her perspective as being an RTC representative at the Gold Base. Knowing, from above what was going on, who was approving what things at certain points, when the reports office board, was installed at the Int Ranch, all that. So that would be really cool. She got, I think, only like 20 minutes, so that will be really fun. And then, so we got this is an SPTV party, guys. So thank you so much for being here.
That's awesome.
Okay,
Interestingly enough, I run this ex-Scientology group, support group in Portland. And
I didn't know that.
Yes, I every 2 months we have a meeting, and it's for all ex-Scientologists in the Portland area. And it's been growing. The group has been growing. And interestingly enough, a lot of the people who are attending are second generation. And I never knew these people, but I knew their parents. And so that makes for, an interesting connection.
I'm wondering, do you think you knew them? Yeah, that's really cool. And this is exactly why I have you here. I mean, for my selfish reasons for the Int Ranch Cadet Org and stuff. And I also know that you knew my mother very well and you know who my dad is. So and same with Amy. So and Amy knew my brother and things like that. Oh, I forgot to pull it up with this. I brought a picture so you could remember how he looked at Gold. at the Gold
Oh,
Base,
that's great.
but I didn't upload it. So anyways, whatever. So I was thinking, guys, it would be easiest to start, and then Claire and Jackson can jump in whenever they do. But we can kind of, and we can even go back to the names. I was thinking the best way to do this, because I love that we can just calmly bring up anybody that we do think about. Like last time we were talking about the Delderfields and Ken Delderfield and how smart he is, and he has his son William Delderfield, who I believe now is like in charge of all the airport flying, you know, the tickets, you know, booking flights, which means he has a lot of information on the illegal activities going on passports being controlled, things like this. He knows exactly who's coming in when. He would be the one reporting directly to RTC. Oh, so and so is taking a flight. They're doing a protest on this day, and whatever it is. So it's just creepy that William Delderfield, to me in my world, was just a sweet, you know, sort of ethical kind of older cadet. You know, one of the younger older cadets, like that eventually went to Gold Base. You know, that's it. That's all I know. Not anything.
Delderfield. Wow.
And then he has two sisters too, Kalinda and Vanessa Delderfield. That they were my age, and they were at the Int Ranch the whole time with me. And they're French, and
they were Ken Delderfield. They were Ken Delderfield's kids. How are they French then? Because Ken Delderfield.
Denise Delderfield. Denise is their mom.
Yeah.
And they had really, I just remember this, I might have brought this up before, but I remember Vanessa and Kalinda at some points would go to France and come back and forget how to speak like English.
Oh, wow.
That's how young they were. And when your brain is just around a certain thing, you kind of, it was so weird. But I did remember like, oh, and they would also come back to the ranch and they would spend like 24, 48 hours just getting rid of all their perfume smell because they smelled so bad. I mean, we all did whenever we were going to visit our non-Scientology family members, even if it was for 48 hours.
Yeah. Ken Delderfield was on the RPF with me.
See?
In Clearwater. Yeah, and he was
before Gold Base. So before Gold Base?
No, after, like, you know.
Okay, I was going to say, wow, then you've known him for a very long time. Okay.
Yeah, but I have known him for a very long time because I was at the, you know, he was there. He was a staple there for a long, long time, years. And but he was on the RPF for years and years while we were there. And then we left. And then when we went back to Clearwater, just as ex-Sea Org members, we saw that he was still running around years later, still on the RPF.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, damn.
And he passed a couple of years ago.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I heard from his family, and he was still on the RPF. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the
so
second
sad.
person I heard of that died while still on the RPF. Ken Delderfield and Alon Kartazinski.
Okay, this is a good Alon Kartazinski. I was leaving the Sea Org in Clearwater. That's how I got to know him. And this was really crazy because I was running at, you know, years before that, maybe 2 or 3 years before that. I'm going to move my mic back a little. Maybe that'll help my deep undertones. Anyway, so I was on the Lisa McPherson. It's okay, Amy. I'm just going to move back a bit. I was on the Lisa McPherson case, or I was running for all the executives while David Miscavige was in Clearwater for, how long was he there? I remember him not going to gold for like almost a year or something.
Yeah, at least.
Maybe even longer.
We really enjoyed that, you know, at the Int base.
I was going to say you enjoyed the Lisa McPherson case. Why? And I realized, oh my God, because he wasn't there.
He wasn't there, yeah.
And it probably things started to actually get done and we're kind of calm and not like, oh, look, stats are up. Good. I don't even need to be at Gold Base. I'm sure he took that as his, you know, his like doing. Yeah. See what happens when I leave? They start to get their, anyways, whatever. Yeah. But what I was going to say is when I was leaving Clearwater, the Sea Org in Clearwater, I was sent on route on the time that I was definitely leaving. I was sent on route lines to go work with Alon Kartazinski in the laundry, doing all the auditors' laundry and stuff like that. And we got close. We got really close because, I mean, he has his own son and stuff like that. But I also was like putting dots together, going like, wait a minute, I was shredding all the paperwork and all the lost, like all the stuff for the courts, because they know I know nothing about the outside system. So I'm not a security threat to them by even looking or seeing, and I'm underage, so they really know I don't know what I'm doing, and that I'm just complying with orders. But I got really close with Alon Kartazinski, and he has a son, Avram Kartazinski.
Abram,
yeah, right?
Yeah. And so both Alon and Abram were on the RPF with me in Clearwater. And Alon, he was only to be audited by the Office of Special Affairs because of all the information that he had regarding Lisa McPherson. And then when the civil trial was settled, he became my twin. Matt and Alon, myself, and Matt were all the trio. So I had to audit him. And the first session that I gave Alon, he just cried like a baby about how he was totally the scapegoat and he's been being punished for a decade over something that he was following an order from RTC.
So I was going to ask you, when I'm wondering, so then he must have, this is probably when I had left the Sea Org and the Lisa McPherson case is over now, and he then was sent to the RPF after 3 years or so of being in the laundry, right, for all the auditors.
They were hiding him. They were hiding him.
That's literally,
yeah, that's what they were doing. And then once they no longer had to hide him, they stuck him in the RPF. And they died there after I left. So
that makes me so mad. I swear to God. So it makes me mad, guys, if you're those listening. I just want to say, because I got to know him very well, and this was a very intelligent man who has a son, who has children, who understands, who was a very highly trained auditor. So he really believed in Scientology's, like, L. Ron Hubbard's technology. And he told me, okay, well, you know, because we got to know, I was telling him my upsets. I was telling him my upsets about the Int Ranch and things like that. And for once, they weren't getting reported to ethics, and then I get in trouble. So it was really interesting to be very close with him. So he told me, you know, well, I'm not to natter or anything. He was being like that, not to natter or anything, but you know, if David Miscavige would have, if Mr. Miscavige would have just let me be the CS on the case, nothing would have happened.
Right.
Which proved that David Miscavige was the one who made this, the whole flat, who basically, no offense to the family or anything, but killed Lisa McPherson from neglect, and was telling Alon Kartazinski, the CS on the case on the time, not that Scientology works or anything. It's just that Alon Kartazinski had the care, had a heart to really like see that somebody gets better and CS'd well and whatever, because he did believe in the technology. So anyways, that was really, I have never forgot about our chats and our talks, and when then to hear later when I was out in the outside world having left that he had got sent back to the RPF, I was like, that right there should be the evidence that shows that he was sent to the RPF for the fault of Lisa McPherson case. But if that were to have been to court, brought to court, it would have been found out that David Miscavige was interfering in religious things, and that's how this person passed away, how they died from neglect.
And I'm sure that when Marty Rathman said that he was given papers and told lose these, that it was the case supervision that had David Miscavige's orders on it for her to attest to the state of clear and everything like that, because that put him right in the center of his handling of Lisa McPherson. So that stuff, I'm sure, will never see the light of day. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, I also was one of the children shredding information like that. But okay, so I just wanted to bring up Alon Kartazinski. Anybody watching out there, he has a son named Abram. That's so horrifying. You know, imagine the mental, and with his father, like, you know, why? No.
Because when he kissed somebody for the first time that he ever
Melissa Sutter, was it Melissa?
I don't know the name because Melissa wasn't on the RPF. He touched her breast on the outside of her clothes.
Oh, I remember this. I remember this.
And he got sent to the RPF for that.
And then after the RPF, during the RPF, Melissa Sutter, who you guys would know from Sutter, right, Jeff?
Yep.
Yeah, Mike Sutter.
Yeah, and so Melissa Sutter was at the Int Ranch. She married, or after when I was leaving the city, I remember Ava and Melissa were dating, or they were married at the time. Like they just got married, but she was waiting for him kind of to finish the RPF, and they were like writing letters to each other. But it wasn't Melissa that he, I think, went out 2D with. Is that?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
I mean, it's
by accidentally touching a boob.
Yeah, he touched her on the outside of her shirt, and so he's literally sent off to the rehabilitation project force. Anyway,
yeah.
It was sick.
But then the other thing is, you wonder, because they were on the RPF at the same time, I wonder if that was ordered also some way. Oh, get his son on the RPF too, so that Alon has no reason to want to leave or anything. Like they can do the RPF together or whatever. There's always a manipulative thing. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
the two people that you bring up, and I was on the RPF with both of them.
This is exactly what I mean. And Jeff Hawkins, did you ever know Alon Kardazinski or Avram?
I think I knew Alon, but not well. You know, we were never.
Yeah, he seemed to know a lot of people. And he even asked when I was working with him, oh, who are your mom and dad? And he was like trying to see if he knew them. And I was kind of like, how would you know them? You know? But everybody knows everybody, apparently, in the Sea Org and Scientology.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Particularly at the end. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely there. And what year did you leave, Lara?
So I was at the Inn Ranch until I was like 13-ish, almost 13, and then I went to Clearwater. I think I was 13 at Clearwater, and then I was I left at 17, right before I turned 18. They were like trying to, they were waiting for me to turn 18 so that my mom wasn't responsible for me anymore, but I was causing too much N theta.
Was that 2005?
2004, 3 maybe, 2003, 2004, something like that.
Yeah, probably 2004, because Alon Kardazinski was sent to the RPF.
Yeah. So I must have left at the end of 2003, exactly, like September or something like that. And then he was there for a little bit in the dry cleaning, doing the auditor. Yep. Like, I don't want to get too deep into it, but like my thought process just goes to like, okay, this man had a kind heart. He wasn't trying to hurt anybody physically. He never was like loud or aggressive toward people below him or, you know, that were under his rank. He spent his whole life training to be the CS and the auditor that he is, that he thinks he's helping all these people, you know, for the whole, and he has his own kid in it. And his kid went to the Cadet org in Clearwater. So that like my experience is different, obviously, as a cadet, but there's the same program, the same machinery, the same mechanism. Now your kid's going to join the Sea Org. And then, so like, and then to have them both on the RPF and then he dies on the RPF. Mm-hmm. I feel like somebody knew that he was going to die on the RPF. Did he? Well, how did he die? From cancer? Some cancer? Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I was told.
It makes me so mad. It just makes me so mad. So yeah, I just like, there's some things even in my selfish way when I was trying to leave, I still thought like, oh, I hope he's going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's not selfish.
No, I mean, because I was just so focused on leaving that I just didn't even think, you know, oh, my friend Alon Kardazinski, you know. Right.
I mean, I wish there was a lot of people that I wish I could have left with, you know, or somehow gotten to escape out of there. Yeah. It's a still bond that yeah, exactly. It's a bond that, you know, is just amazing. It's somebody's still talking about the damn sound. Anyway, it's just amazing to me.
Amy, you don't have Amy, you don't have any windows open other than StreamYard, right?
Nothing.
Okay, because I didn't know that for a while, and that was messing up my sound a bit. I don't have anything open, so we're good. It's sorry, guys. We love you. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway.
Okay, so Alon Kardazinski, that was really interesting, right? Yeah. So, did I cut you off? Yeah, and Ken Delderfield, and then their son William Delderfield, who's still at Gold Base currently, and then they have two sisters, two daughters, Kalinda and Vanessa Delderfield, and they're both, from what I know, still in Clearwater in the Sea Org. The same, these kids were shipped off. Fox, don't do that. She's going for my Mary Jane. She knows. She's like, uh-oh, I was just sniffing. No, you weren't. The next thing is you're chewing. So then these cadets we were all shipped off to Clearwater to join the Clearwater to learn an outside organization because we were so programmed and trained as children that we were to be adults and to be Sea Org members, but we knew nothing about the outside world that we're supposed to be so ethical for.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to teach you the new world. So why don't you go to Clearwater, Florida and learn the new world? That to us was the world. Go to Clearwater, Florida. That's the outside world. Yeah. That like 100%. This was the outside world. I was like, wow, I'm in the outside world. I'm so ethical and strong that I can be by myself, 14 years old in the outside world. Like that's like, it's funny to think about, but for sure that is the mind frame. You're thinking, and then you're feared. You're like, I'm in the outside world. Do I need to go back? You know what I mean? Like, should I go back? Were they right? Am I going to get put on psych drugs and die? Like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay. So what I was going to do, guys, I was going to make this, because Gary and Claire will jump in soon, you know, whenever they pop their little weasels in. Is that what you call pop goes the weasel?
Yeah, pop goes the weasel.
So whenever their little weasel's gonna pop on in, oh, look at that. Speaking of the devil, little baby angel child herself. Okay, guys, I gotta bring her up just since I was about to get Claire. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Claire Headley and Mr. Hawkins and Mr. Amy AM.
Yes, no, please don't call me Mr.
Mr.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Apparently, maybe not in the chat, so whatever.
Oh, well, you know.
They're like, adjust your volume. But it's like, we can't do it. We hear what we're hearing. It's like, it's almost like the PA on a stage. If you're on the stage as a performer, you can sound great here. But if the sound guy doesn't have you in the house, PA, the house ain't going to hear you. And I can't control that up here. But yes you sound great. Very professional as usual.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me on. Good to see you, Amy. Oh, where she went?
She's going to check her volume or something. Because apparently she's low. And I don't.
Jeff. Good to see you.
Hey, Claire. Yes, good to see you.
Awesome.
I sent Jeffrey an overnight microphone last night. Today, sorry. And I went to send it overnight, and it was $200 to overnight to him. So I was like, what's the next one? They're like, 112. What's the next day? 100. I was like, what's the next one? And I said, so Tuesday morning, Jeff gets his microphone, and that's what we're hearing. That background muffle is just because of that. Amy, how are you sounding, Amy?
Well, hopefully this is all fine.
I think you sound better in my ears. Everybody in the chat, where's Melinda? Who can we rely on? Just kidding.
Yeah, no, that was probably part of the problem. So I had to go out, unplug,
and come back in,
plug in, and come back.
You sound much cleaner and louder in my ears. So
good.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Yay! So Claire, I was about to. So for those of you watching, you know who Claire is. Claire Headley. For me as a child, I took care of her dogs with Kimberly Alcock and Sarah Leobard. We were like the little animal trio pair at the Int Ranch that would take care of all the executives' dogs. And at one point, a lot of the animals were taken away from Gold Base, right, Claire, to even RTC, like all the execs. And the people who were allowed to keep their animals, they were sent to the Int Ranch for the cadets / adults to oversee and watch them, make sure they took care of their animals from there.
Yeah.
So, and that's not the only reason I know Claire, too. The other reason I know Claire is because she was at the Gold Base. She's married to Mark Headley, and Mark Headley works with my mom and Jeff, and all the people you see here. They all knew all the people, you know, the next person next to them, whether they were an executive or not, at the Gold Base, which is also the Int Base, as we've all discovered and told everybody.
Yeah, which, by the way, speaking of Sarah Leobard, I don't think you know this, but her mom was Marie Francoise Joel, right?
Yeah, she was my Purify when I was on the Purif with Danny Dunnigan's wife.
Yeah, so when Sarah was 2 years old, approximately, and I was, I think, 9 or 10, I was in the Cadet org in England, and I was sent on mission to watch Sarah and Sidonie.
Sidonie Leobard.
Yeah, while Marie Francoise Joel was doing her OT levels. Which was about the most miserable week I've ever spent in my whole life. I'm sure it was for Sarah and Sidonie, too, because they didn't speak a word of English. I didn't
right.
speak French.
Yep.
I was literally like just at St. Hill trying to corral these two little French girls that I couldn't communicate with. Sarah was crying the entire time. It was a complete disaster. Anyway,
That's horrible. Sarah Leobard was one of my best friends at the Int Ranch. We would run away and blow. They try to separate us constantly.
Yeah.
That's Jeffy's little Mikey. Yeah, they would. And me, Sarah, ooh, I just thought of Alex Nunn. So me, Sarah, Alex Nunn, and Rebecca Jacobson originally were like a quad of besties that were hardworking, great, but apparently we were also out ethics, you know.
Oh, Rebecca must have been Tony Jacobson's daughter.
Wait, so Tony, did he later leave?
No, Tony Jacobson.
Oh, yes, that's her mother. That's correct. And her father, though, Rebecca Jacobson's dad, was not in the Sea Org.
Right.
I remember that because when we were blowing, when we planned me, Alex, Sarah, and Rebecca, we planned 4 kids. I don't even know why we thought that was going to ever work. 4 kids going down the creek, which if you follow the creek, it goes all the way even past Gold Base and stuff. So we just knew if we follow the creek, eventually we're going to get to the city, and all we need to do is get to a payphone, because Rebecca Jacobson's dad had given her a phone card that we memorized. We all memorized it. So if we got split up, we were able to call through. And this card code was like 30 numbers long. It was first the car code, or the card code that you would put on the payphone. Then it would say, thank you, dialed the number. So then you'd have to remember Rebecca's dad's number. Anyway, so this happened. And when we called, they said, he said, I only can take Rebecca. I could get in trouble legally. And we were like, what? We thought we were like, not a dick. She was kind of like, Dad, what are you doing? We've planned this for so long.
Point. He would be charged
because he was in the out. 4 children. Oh my God. And we're like, no, we want to be with him.
I wish. Yeah, well, oh my gosh. Well, let me tell you, Laura, you knew better than I did as a grown-ass adult how to get out of there. Jeez Louise, I didn't even know about following the creek bed.
Well, that was after a few takes. And that was after Mike Brown, got some, whatever. I mixed something up, but I was like, heavy on the decks, the bridge broke, and Mike got stabbed with a metal piece in his eye. And that's all I remember is just heavy work, Mike Brown enforcing up, he can't be here because he has a patch over his eye. I mixed so many things. But anyways, during that time, I also remember, I swear to God, guys, doing the fire breaks and working and going, oh my God, I could technically blow and go see my mom if I really need to create a situation. I could go, because there was a point. So Claire Headley, so you guys know, was a report. Basically, we were at a certain point after years at the Int Ranch of all the havoc, abuse, all sorts of bad stuff going on that shouldn't have been. There were finally the reports off. We were allowed to, the RTC put these big boards in even the Cadet org, but any organization, basically, any Sea Org organization for sure, but any organization, whether even in the outside world, because later I'm like, oh, there's those RTC boards that they started doing when I was at the Int Ranch. So it was never an officially, I don't think it was officially ever an L. Ron Hubbard policy to have the reports off. I remember it's called the reports off, RTC. Yeah,
by my recollection, it replaced, you used to be able to write directly
messages. That's
L.
right.
Hubbard, which you could still, but of course he's dead, so you're not going to get a response. But no, you really still can though. People still do write him letters, and RTC reports off will take that and put him in a case. Yeah, but in 1987, with the reorg of RTC and David Miscavige taking control and RTC kind of assuming that role of the policing organization of all echelons of Scientology, it was a program to have anyone be able to report directly something of RTC concern, which is like 500 line items long, all the matters of RTC concern, including, by the way, if you tried to call the police. So the idea was, to have a report, a box where somebody could submit a report with no consequences if they were reporting, for example, their senior or somebody locally. The report would go straight to the RTC reports officer.
Yeah, and I would write, as kids, we would write, we finally thought, oh, it was locked. Like, it had like a little lock on it.
Mhm.
So if it felt like, oh, good, I can pretty much talk shit about any of the adults and anything going on here, and only the RTC representative will get it. And so what I was thinking is I'll tell them all this, and I'm not going to be nattering, because I knew they would write back, it sounds like you're nattering. You need to write up your OWs. And so I definitely purposely use things like, my intention is not to natter. It's just to, you know, the policy says this, you know, if we're not children, why are we being spanked? And, you know, and I wrote this thinking... I actually wrote it. I wrote it to you, Claire, because I thought, oh, I take care of her animals. She'll make sure this gets attention. She'll tell the reports off. Oh, I know. And then didn't you get sent to the Int Ranch for something about this? Like, weren't you sent somebody? The reports officer was at the Int Ranch after me and Sarah Leah Bard spent our time, like, secretly writing like a 5-page, we took like 5 of the, it just has one like report, you just have 1 page, but we took like 5 of them, just saying everything, spankings, we're doing like all, I wish I could read that report today from my 9-year-old self.
Yeah, I don't think that ever made it to me, because those reports went only to Tammy Wyckoff, she had like super long brown hair. Oh, I think you're muted.
Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, I meant to, I unmuted Jeff thinking he was, but yeah, I remember she had really long, kind of curly, wasn't it curly?
No, it was like dead straight.
Okay, yeah, really long brown hair. Oh, I'm mixing up David Miscavige's assistant. She has really long, sort of wavy.
Shelley.
No, not Shelley. Not her. One of the stewards. One of the stewards. Tall, brown hair. Georgiana. There you go. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, she had really long brown hair. She came, and I just thought I was getting in trouble. I thought I'm getting in trouble because I'm the one who me and Sarah caused all these RTC reps to come to the Int Ranch.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And
sorry, that was Jeff.
No, it's okay. That's the sad part of thinking that you have a safe line to report crimes, and the victim shaming, victim blaming, and the smoke and mirrors of Scientology means it all just comes back on you.
Yeah. Okay, so Jeffy, I'm undoing your mic so it may go in and out, but it goes away after a while. Yeah. No, you're not muted anymore, Jeff. Oh, are my cats destroying my backdrop?
I love your kitty.
Yeah.
This is Bubbies.
Puppies.
She has a sister. I thought she was a boy when I adopted them both. They're sisters, and one is a goldenrod kitty, pure goldenrod, and her sister is that, and they both have these unique, really cool stripes, like tiger stripes. Very cute. Anywho, so what I was gonna do, Claire, is I'm glad I brought that up about the reports off. I just kind of knew Claire's important, and you were very nice. That was another thing. She was she seemed sweet. We knew she was high up, but she seemed sort of nice. She seemed like somebody. Oh, we were also writing, I think your attention was on it, or maybe you got notified or something, because we reported the neglect of the dogs and stuff. Like, we're supposed to be feeding and it was just, they don't know when they're not getting enough food. Like, when the bags of dog food are running out, we had to, like, come up with ways to feed the anyways, ugh. Yeah. So, and it was just like, how are we not gonna, and then whenever so even the one secret report line as a child that we were allowed to use, we were just using it to be ethical and say, these are the things that are going on that we don't think as children are okay, as young adults, sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, as young...
as children.
Yeah. I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm going to share this right now because this just reminds me of... Let's see if I do this. Share screen. Oh, Laura, don't mess up. Don't exit yourself out of this. Okay, hold on. Let me move this away. And I just want to show you this reference. And then I'm going to show you... We're going to go... Okay. Can you guys see this? No, not yet. Just because I was just talking about that, I want to share this. This is a... you can see that now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. this is an ethics, a flag order that says ethics. That's what it's called, ethics. A Thetan is simply a Thetan. Can you guys read that? I'm going to zoom in just in case. And this is 1960. Oops, sorry. This is 68 May. Yeah. What did I do? Okay, there we go. 31 May. A Thetan is simply a Thetan, period. Body size has nothing to do with it. I was made to read this so many times. That's why I'm showing you guys. The trouble with children is that it is a generality. That's the way children are, period. A suppressive is a suppressive whether he is big or small. We don't have suppressives in the Sea Org, whether they are big or small. Big or small upstats get upstat treatment, and SPs get declared. Sorry, I'm laughing, but that was...
Why were you made to read that so many times?
Because they were showing...
Indication?
Just no. Just as a thing of saying you're not a child, you're in a small body, but that has nothing to do with you not being, basically saying we could declare you a suppressive at any time. You're just as capable as being a declared, just as anybody else if you are a suppressive. So that's constant. All these little policy letters are constantly lingering over one's head while living their lives. Okay, so I just wanted to bring that up. But so I thought this would be good if we brought up this photo, because this photo is a group photo of the Int Ranch Cadets. I'm not sure what year, but here, let me pull it up for you guys. And then we can just go over all the little names of everybody in there, and I'm sure a zillion things will come up. Okay, share screen. Let me know if you guys see this in the chat. We want you to be very aware of who is here in this photo and not. You guys, we can see that, and I can also zoom in. So let's start with, whoa, hi, Bubbas. Are you having a party back there? Okay. Here, so do you guys, I want to start from here. The little ones in the very first row.
The one on the far right looks like Raiden.
Yep. Ding, ding, ding. Who? Wait, we need to make a game board. Yes.
Arbuckle.
So, I think we've talked a little bit. Gary Jackson will jump up here in a bit too. We talked about Tanya Arbuckle or Tanya, whatever. Raiden. Yeah, there you go. I forget. I'm like, wait, Claire's here or something. And Jeff, did you know the Arbuckles at all?
Yes, I knew them. I didn't work closely with them at all.
I knew both of them very well.
It's kind of
Arbuckle and Tanya Arbuckle.
Yeah, we're talking about this little cutie kid right here.
Yeah, I remember.
They were long-term, right? Long-term Sea Org members.
Yep, yeah. So Janice,
they weren't going to be able to stay in the Sea Org because she got pregnant. But then because Tanya was so long in the Sea Org, he used to be at the musician on the Apollo Stars, and he was a musician. So they had the baby, and came back to the Int base. Yes. So that was very unusual.
Do you know? Do you want to know a fun fact, or not fun? Something I learned about Tamiya from Shelley Miscavige. She told me that LRH, that he had been on the upper levels of the bridge, Tamiya, and Hubbard had canceled everything and said he had to redo it all like 3 or 4 or 5 times over.
Wow.
Another thing is Raiden Arbuckle, in case you're listening, and I would love to have you up on this someday, so maybe that will happen. I feel like there's a larger chance of that happening than most of the kids in this photo.
Hey, Laura, can I add Jackson? He just came in.
Yeah, I was just going to bring him in so we didn't stick with Arbuckle. But I will bring him in because he does know the Arbuckles. But I was going to, yes, you can bring him in. I just want to say specifically with the Arbuckles, Janice and Biddy, Janice was telling me exactly how actually Raiden Arbuckle was saved by his parents. Hi, Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. And Jackson definitely knows the Arbuckles as well, obviously, just because.
I was going to add that I remember when Mary was pregnant with her first child, while she was on the decks, and to Amy and good old Jefferson, this was before Del Sol was renovated. Remember when it was all still pink and white and it was a rundown hotel? That's where that was the first OGH old Gilman house, the first hole was ironically Del Sol. So she was sleeping in a sleeping bag, pregnant.
It's unbelievable. Like, these are real things. And then also Janice was telling us that she actually she told Biddy, because she couldn't believe this, but Ryden Arbuckle's parents were separated from Ryden. Ryden was a tiny baby down in LA Org still, and they were at Gold Base. And Janice was like, this is unbelievable. That baby needs to be with his mom. Like, this is like, they can't be breastfeeding him barley. And she knew what was going on down in the LA before and the reason the Int Ranch, quote unquote, was supposed to be, you know, there for these children. Anyway, she got it approved that Ryden Arbuckle got okayed to go to the Int Ranch to be with. Anyways, if y'all are watching, you can go back and watch Janice and me, and we were talking about that. Janice with somebody else. Maybe it was just Janice, but she was telling the whole story about that, so that's pretty crazy. All right, so Ryden, that's Ryden Arbuckle. Anybody else with Ryden Arbuckle? I love Jackson showing all of his.
That's a cameo appearance. I just have to add really quickly, this is something John, what's his name? I can never
Stazowski.
He made this for me. He made an official apple box. And put a little stinger up the pooper there. And anyways.
I was going to make a joke. Gary, you're going to get me demonetized.
Hey, you've already dropped the F word at least 10 times since I came here, so you're way ahead of me.
A joke is not supposed to have an explanation. Thank you.
Oh.
The joke was, you got me demonetized when I brought it.
Things you learn in a day.
Okay, so with Ryden Arbuckle, is there?
Wait, Laura, your mic is really, really hot.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary, we know. There's nothing.
Can you put it on half volume?
I don't know. I'm trying to. Is this better, guys? Is that better?
Well,
is it better? Is it better?
Quieter.
No, I'm not. I just turned it down a bunch.
Go lower.
Yeah,
it's not doing anything, guys. I don't know what to say.
Disconnect it and connect it back in.
That's okay. It's just coming across a little distorted.
It's super loud.
Super loud.
So now I unplugged my mic, guys.
It's still kind of distorted. But
it's still.
Are you still? I feel like that. No.
Maybe it's just too close.
Okay, I unplugged it and replugged it. Tell me if that's a little bit better.
Sounds better to me.
I moved it back. I don't know what to say, guys. I don't want to spend. I don't want to spend time doing this, though. I don't care. Sure. This is about the message and what we're. I don't care if I'm too loud. We want to hear Amy. I'll let her talk when I'm not yelling. Okay. So I just wanted to say really quickly, is there anything else we want to bring up? If there's any, Jeff, if you have any stories, or if anybody wants to say anything else more about Ryden Arbuckle's parents or Ryden Arbuckle.
I hope he gets out if he's not already out.
He is out of the Sea Org. I think I'm gonna work with him on that.
It's just insane how little those kids are.
Look how little those.
I mean, they're smaller than my youngest child.
Okay, that's what I was gonna. Yeah. Okay, so the next one right here is me. I'm sitting right next to Ryden Arbuckle.
Oh my gosh.
We've talked about me a lot, so we can continue. Do we know who this one is? This one maybe looks like Christina Webster or something.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
She was really tiny. I think. Let me see if she's anywhere else in the front line. Yeah, that was her, Christina Webster.
Wait, what year was this, Laura?
It was one of the maybe 1991, like maybe 1992. It was like one of the, because let's Claire. Maybe we can go on these older ones. There's Taryn Rinder.
Yeah, that's
So let's let's do the older cadets first, since you guys probably have some. So this looks like Carrie Clark.
Yeah,
yes, that's definitely Carrie Clark.
Carrie Clark.
Cool, and you guys.
Andrea
TC right here, or Andrea Clark is her older sister. Clark.
Who's that standing next to Clark there? The blonde.
This one, maybe.
Jenna?
This
At
one.
the very end, that's Epstein, isn't it?
No, that's
next to the
Silcock.
Second one in.
Isn't that
second one in?
Silcock's daughter?
Oh yeah, you're probably right. See, Jackson, when you brought that up in the other episode, I think I was too young to know some of the older cadets. But other than that, like this girl reminds me of her name was Stanton or something. Am I wrong about that?
Carrie Stanton.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
See?
Yep, she came into CMO Int.
Yes.
And is she
She worked
still
in
there? Do you
programs.
know? That's her right there, right?
She was the last I knew. Carrie Stanton. I didn't know she was a cadet out there. She came into CMO Int and she went into programs, running CMO programs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
See?
remember
She was
Carrie.
nice. Mhm.
And then here, Jeffy, I'm going to mute you. Jeff, I'm going to just mute you because I love you. He's so sweet. Claire, I sent Jeff an overnight pack. I just told you that. Yeah, he's going to get a really good microphone. I'm very excited.
Amazing.
Okay, so then this is crazy. Yeah, Stanton. So like I was saying even earlier, the very beginning of this, it's normalized for all cadet orgs of like that were ever, put together. It was very normal for them to then be shuffled from the cadet org to the org that they were a cadet in. So definitely a lot of the younger people always at Gold Base most of the time came from the Int Ranch cadet org.
Yeah.
So
is that next one Jessica?
this one, right? Yeah, another person I totally forgot about.
Epstein, right?
That's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
then,
Epstein.
Yeah.
That's who I was talking about.
And then next to her, it looks like Rickard
Rodin.
Richard Rodin.
Yep.
My God, the Rodin.
Oh, I love that we're saying all these names. Say their names.
We're
Say
composing
their names.
a base staff list. Also.
Is that Felipe?
Yeah, there's Felipe.
Jeff, do any of these kids seem, yeah, right here, Felipe.
Yep.
Jeff, do you know any of these older cadets?
Probably, but I don't recognize him from the photo.
So, for example, Felipe Avila. He was the Avila. So you know their parents is what I'm saying. Like Yolanda Avila. He has a brother named Jorge Avila. And they were
Jorge
both...
Pancho. He was one of my guards.
Yep. I remember that too. Okay, cool. I was just wondering. Jeff, you can jump in on the parent side. This is Danny Hill, which...
Yep.
Claire...
That was Sharon Hill's kid.
Danny Hill.
Yeah, he got offloaded from the Int Ranch for multiple reasons.
Sharon Hill worked in CMU. That was her kid.
I remember Sharon Hill.
Sharon Hill?
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a kid.
Me neither. That's the... Anyway, the whole...
Do we know who this is? Sorry, not to cut you off, Sharon Hill.
Is that an adult? Maybe.
Maybe it was an adult.
Jean Tomazovic?
No, it's not Jean. I was going to say it's Renee Berther, but I feel like she would have been a little bit younger.
I will say, and this is a strange way to remember, but that girl, I remember she had a big schnoz on her.
Yeah, she did. I remember her, but I don't remember. This is so weird.
I know it's a strange way to remember somebody.
No, I do remember that.
With the big nose.
I remember that too, Jackson.
But I love what Claire was about to say.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what were you saying, Claire?
Knowing people and then not even knowing that they had kids. What were you going to say?
I know. Yeah, no, it's a tragedy. Like to be like you're so depersonalized as a member of the C organization that none of us knew. Like, for example, yes, Laura, I knew that you were Phil and Diane's daughter, but I didn't know you. But that was like 10 years into my tenure at the base. Like, I had no idea, like, that anyway, obviously I lived a very similar childhood. So I kind of was like, oh, this is the same old mess as in England, just different backdrop, but it's awful.
And I would say it's because it's the same old mess is because L. Ron Hubbard, Janice, I can't wait to have Janice back on because we're going to go over, I would love also for Claire, for you to be on for that one, just to go over I have all these policy letters, all the cadet the pack ranch programs that and everything, like there's letters in there saying like so-and-so baby is really sick, has been sick and these are toddlers and they're doing like CMO programs or like ordered programs from, the organization on how to fix all these, kids that have obviously a lot of BTs attached to them creating all these problems.
Yeah.
Like there's programs and policy letters. Anyways, Janice was saying it was really bad. And it's just crazy that when people like even talking to Mike Brown and thinking, at one point he was the enforcer and the reinforcer bringing back, the ethics and for the kids and the cadets at the Int Ranch at one point when it was like, how is like years and years later, he's this enforcer when down in LA, they're writing these programs about how bad these kids, when they were children, were treated. Yeah. And it's like, now you're back at the Int Ranch doing the thing that now the kids are being in your position when you were a child, and you're now being the enforcer. So it's just, it's the kids of this is so important, because in Scientology, it seems to me, they can't, even in the outside Scientology world, like Scientologists are in the outside world, the celebrity is like, when they're, you know, the reason they get pulled into being actors and all this is at a young age, or by their parents being like, you need to start your child's communication course at age 6 or 7, or the purification rundown that's being done right now currently to 8-year-olds saying, I'm so proud of my daughter or my son, they're doing the purification. This is all intense psychological grooming for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I mean, look at the number of children in that photo.
And this isn't even all of them.
Whose childhood was destroyed. Their lives were traumatized. They're probably, most of them, still dealing with the aftermath of a screwed up childhood at the hands of Scientology, with no family connections, no parents. It's just devastating.
No play, no play whatsoever. It was just put to work. They were put to work.
Without counting the heads, I would say there's at least 70 to 80 kids there. There was, at the most, 800 or 920 staff when I left in 97. That would be, what, percentage wise, almost a quarter of the Int base staff at least had kids. Who the hell would have known all that, right?
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to bounce, but I'm gonna watch the rest of this chat, and we'll chat more for sure. I just have kiddos.
We love you, Claire. Thank you so much. Jump in. If you can jump in later, you can jump in, do whatever you want. We love you. And then we'll have you back for sure with this photo, so we can do more talking. Hopefully with Janice or somebody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all for doing this. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Claire. Okay, so guys, let's go back up to here, right? So some of you knew Danny Hill, right? And he was offloaded.
Well, next to him is Sterling's brother right there.
I knew Felipe.
Justin, right?
That's Justin.
You knew Felipe, so that's over here.
I worked with him, in Ham.
What was his job or his post?
He worked in manufacturing in the Hubbard e-meter area, at least when I was there. So,
So something having to do with building the e-meters. Manufacturing the e-meters that he was also once doing. He probably was teaching the younger cadets, like my sister and stuff, that were going into Gold Base later, that were doing the new quantum e-meters and stuff like that. He was probably teaching all them, and we felt, oh, there's our connection. Oh, you know, there's one of the older cadets that were just like us, and so we could listen to them. They knew how to, or they would be like, hey, I remember you, like, you know, it would just be already a connection, a close connection, and you're in the Sea Org with this close connection at a Gold Base that's a jail. Yeah, you're going to kind of sort to fit in and be like, okay, who can I get to know so I can get away with certain things?
Yeah.
Jeff, you knew the Ovulas. We already talked about that, right? Okay, great. Yes. And Jackson, you knew the Ovulas, obviously, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know, I'm in touch with Jorge now.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jorge lives in the Midwest and got a great job, and he's got a beautiful family.
And Jorge is
his brother.
What?
His brother.
Yeah. And he's not in this photo.
No, Jorge's not. Jorge's older.
He was older, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. So there are cadets, though, at younger and older. I think there were even some cadets that weren't allowed to be in this photo because they were too young and they didn't have uniform for them.
Oh, really?
That's
too young.
Strange, but
yeah, but I know. So I'm just saying, there's
they
weird ones.
They arranged them by body size, starting from the right to smallest, and it gets bigger as you go to the left. It's strange. Oh my God. I mean, if you look at those
it's really
details,
weird.
They literally started at the smallest kid, and they just get bigger from right to left in the front.
Yeah,
row
in the age group brackets.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, we were kind of also later on trained and drilled to do all the, just like marching. There's okay, so I was going to zoom in and say, so we have Mark Berther here. Who's this? Do we know?
It's too blurry to tell.
It's almost like you can know. This was Tim Hines' brother.
Bruce Hines' kid.
No, he had two, though. This was his older brother. I'm trying to remember his name.
Bruce Hines has kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, what the hell?
Bruce,
right? I mean, you worked with shoulder to shoulder, literally. Same building.
I know.
You breathe the same air. You breathed the same air for how long, and you didn't even know he had a
I
kid.
had no idea he had kids.
Yeah.
It would be really cool to get Bruce Hines and Tim Hines up here. Jeff, did you want to say something?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you're so sweet. Look at him. Okay, good. So, anybody know the Birthers? Mark Birther and Renee Birther?
Yeah, that was a rough bunch.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I definitely have not very good memories of Renee Birther.
Too bad the staff aren't in this also, but keep going. We have a lot of people.
Okay, and then I don't know who this one is.
Pass.
No, okay. This looks like, who did you say, Mike Brown?
Mike Brown, yeah.
Yeah. And then this one is Mike Norton.
Yep, good old
You guys knew the Nortons?
He later became one of my security guards.
Yep. And he would come to the ranch and train us a little bit on
who's
how
next
to
Mike? To Mike's right.
I don't know. I would know if I.
Okay.
Then the next one
maybe
is Tom.
Oh yeah,
Tom Ashworth's daughter.
Yep.
Tom Ashworth.
Oh yeah. Heather Ashworth. Oh, so this must be her brother, maybe Heather and not is it Gavin Ashworth?
Oh, maybe.
I think Heather and Gavin, or something like that. Maybe they went out 2D.
Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah.
Excuse my French, but I am totally shit-faced by this picture. This is just...
Isn't it crazy? It's so crazy. It's like, okay, so this looks like Matt Price, maybe? I don't know. Who is that?
Yeah, that's
you guys
Matt
know?
Price.
Yeah, it is. That's
Matt
right. Who's this?
That is Hughes, Greg Hughes.
That's right.
That's right, Greg Hughes. Oh
Greg
my
Hughes
goodness!
Jr., right?
Wow. Yep.
Greg Hughes Jr.
Yeah, and he has a brother. He has two sisters, Lindsay and Rebecca. Becky Hughes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, next to him, this looks like Ariella Coleman, right? Am I wrong? No, I'm wrong. Who is that?
Yeah.
No, am I right?
We didn't have a
No,
Coleman
she would have been in this. She would have been in this group, I think.
I don't remember a Coleman at the base.
Power Coleman and Ariella Coleman. That might be her.
Power Coleman?
No, that's Zoe Woodcraft. This looks like Zoe Woodcraft.
Okay, Tom Woodcraft's kid.
Okay, so let's go back up here. I'm not sure who these ones are. If you guys see anything, let me know. This is Erin Selly.
Erin Selly. Oh my gosh.
Remember, she's so small and
came into the CMO.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She was in the CMO. Yep.
She has a lisp.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was a fragile looking gal.
And little high cute voice.
Yeah.
Hawkins, did you know the Sellys?
I'm sure I did if they were at the Int base, but nothing comes to mind.
Okay, what about Erin Selly? I'm trying to remember. I just couldn't remember
I'm
at the
trying to
moment.
remember too. Anyways.
I think this is Lindsay Hughes. Anyways, okay, so next is Marco Lobato and Natalia Lobato.
Oh
do you guys know the Lobatos?
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
And Pablo Lobato,
very sweet.
After he got out of the Sea Org, he came to my house to visit because I used to work with him. And he wanted to know any information that I had about where his children were. And
whoa. Re-say that again? Amy, say that again?
Yeah, he had no idea where his children in the Sea Org
were. What was his job? Where was he?
He was in
he left the Sea Org. And he called you? Why did you hear about this?
Yeah. Well, because I was in the Sea Org and he had left before me. And so when he wanted to know if I knew any information about where his children were.
Wow.
Because when he left, what happened was his daughter was sent to Australia. And I don't know where his son was sent, but I don't remember. LA, I think it was.
Yeah,
so,
to LA.
Florida, yeah. And so Pablo didn't know where his own children who were left behind were, and they sent his daughter out of the country. She was a minor.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay, so crazy. Okay, those are the Lobatos, Mark and Natalia Lobato. For those watching, I definitely know have like lives and hours and years spent with almost every single person in this photo, other than the very top. But yes, Andrea TC was our, so yeah, I do have a lot of, whether it was fun personal interactions or forced, I still know almost every single human in this photo. That's why it disturbs me when I can't see, like it's a little blurry, but when I can't see somebody, I'm like, I know them. I just can't see their face right now. Okay, so next to the Lobatos is Shane. You can see Shane Clark.
Yep.
No.
Right
That's
here
not
where
Shane
I'm.
Clark.
Shane. His brother's Kerry Clark, which he is right here.
Oh, yeah.
Kerry
I was thinking
Clark
Carrie.
and Shane Clark.
Yeah, and that's the one.
Right.
Shane
Carrie
still,
Clark is the one I knew. I think. I don't
Yeah.
know if I knew.
Yeah. Kerry was definitely at Gold.
as far as we know, Carrie's still there.
Yeah,
Carrie's
100%.
still
Sweet
there.
guy.
Yeah, Shane is just dying to reconnect with his brother,
Ah,
Aw.
dang.
who has a nephew now, by the way. And
Yes, Shane has, oh my God, the
has a beautiful
cutest child in the world. Ugh.
Oh.
If
You
Shane
believe that,
wouldn't.
Amy? You believe
No,
that, Amy?
it's sad.
Shane,
Very sad.
there out at the Int Ranch today, has a child.
Yeah,
That's just incredible.
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy. I don't know who's sitting next to him. Does that look familiar? No. But I do know these two little chickmunks. This is my sister and
Yeah,
my
that's your
brother,
brother.
Yeah.
Jarrett and Colleen Anderson.
Yeah.
Holy
Okay, and then next to them, this looks like Nikki Cifarelli.
Oh my God, Tony
Cifarelli's, Tony Cifarelli's
Tony's face.
son.
Did I understand? Is he still with us?
Tony, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. We want to get as much information on any of the parents or the
I'm not going to
kids.
start any rumors, so as far as I know, they're still alive.
Okay. I remember Tony Cifarelli being a dumpster truck driver or something before he joined the Sea Org.
They're never, like what I do today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably what I think. That's what he did, and then he worked in audio with Mark Headley, and and Mark Headley told us a real funny story about how Tony Cifarelli saw Tom Cruise and said, "My initials TC is too," and then the whole base was announced that you can't talk to Tom Cruise like that. You have to call him sir.
Oh my God,
Fucking
that's
bullshit.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seemed like he's a fun little child too. He would be like that. Okay, next to him I think is Trisha Norton, Mike Norton's little sister.
Yeah, that's her.
Am I wrong?
No, that looks like
Could
her.
be. Okay, next to her, do you guys know? I don't know. Kimberly Al? No, she would have been too young for that. Not sure. Not sure on these two. This looks like...
I know next to Taryn looks like Willoughby's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, over here to the right. Yeah.
Yeah, on the end.
Maybe this is... No, that wouldn't be Benjamin. Benjamin would have been younger. Down here, right there's Benjamin.
Down, yeah, exactly.
Look at him. He's so cute.
Look at that little white
face.
fender right there.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of Tim Hines, there's Tim Hines.
Yeah, Bruce.
That's Bruce Hines' little kid.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
I know, right, Mayor Amy? I might as well have a kid in this picture you would have never known, right? It just...
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, there's my daughter.
Yeah.
It's nothing that was ever part of our lives,
No.
because
That's the
it
shame
was
of
out
all
of
this.
sight, out of mind, because we're on production. And if somebody went to the ranch to see their kid or something, it was done kind of quietly. It wasn't, it wasn't like really made known because it's you're off production. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat, Cece, was saying, what about the Bromley's kid, Bruce and Pat Bromley's kid, Aaron? You see her in here?
Oh, is that who? That's
Aaron. What's the last name?
girl.
Bromley. Pat and Bruce.
No, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Aaron Selly was their kid, maybe.
Maybe. That sounds more right.
And I don't know why it's a different last name,
Well,
but I
probably
think
from
because they-
Pat's previous, may I say, from
Yeah.
Pat's
Yes.
side, usually they carry.
I think that's right. I think that's right.
Yeah. Jeffy, I'm just muting your mic so it doesn't keep clogging, but I love you. Yeah, so that's Curie, I'm assuming, right? Or, I mean, to me, she seemed like she would have been younger in our crowd, or even on this,
Okay,
so I
hold
don't know
on.
if that's her
on
or
this,
not.
On this end, I think it's Willoughby.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, right here, right?
A
Yes.
mini-me, an Anna Mini-me.
Yeah, Anna Willoughby.
Anna Moana Willoughby.
She was a firecracker, her mom.
Yep,
Yeah, it was a
she
total-
was, yes. Oh my God, I forgot about her mom. She was so outgoing.
Oh, she was Miss.
And then her
Indiana.
dad was tall,
Yeah, he
had
was
like a
really-
deeper voice,
Well, they were
right?
from New Zealand, and I
Yeah, he
think
had an accent or something.
They both did, and he was more like a Pacific Islander type, really husky. He looked like a rugby player,
Totally, yes.
but a sweetheart. And then
totally.
he ended up getting kicked to the galley and beat down. He used to work in the senior CS Int office, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Which is the high
yep, I remember him being. He would come to the Int Ranch sometimes in his CMO uniform.
Yeah.
Okay, so then below Kiri is Jesse Dunstan.
Oh my God.
Did you know Dunstan, Hawkins?
Dunstan. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Okay, and then Kim Radstrom or Fumagelli. It was Fumagelli or Radstrom. Kim Radstrom. She had her dad, I think, was married.
That was Jesse's.
Yeah, sister. Jesse. No, Jesse is her dad.
Yeah,
Jesse is her dad.
Jesse Radstrom.
Jesse was too young.
Jesse Radstrom was a kid when he got. Yeah, he was.
No, Gary. I remember Kim's dad being young. I remember Kim Radstrom's dad being younger than most of the adults.
Jesse was an RTC sweetheart.
Gary Jackson, you just proved my point even more. You are wrong. Kim Radstrom is Jesse Radstrom's daughter, and I remember her dad being good-looking and in RTC, so you are wrong.
No.
Jesse Radstrom is Kim Radstrom's dad, I promise you.
Yeah, but who's the mom?
All I say is holy schmomoli. That's all I say.
Who would know is Mark Headley, because
I hope I'm right. What if I was wrong?
Jesse Radstrom and Mark Headley were really good friends, and used to, yeah, they.
But that's what I mean. So, but Jesse was in RTC at one point.
That one's out on with the jury. We'll find out.
Okay, Gary, I can't wait to be right. We need Mark Headley here. This is going to be so fun.
I'm all about you being right, sweetheart.
Okay, so
guy, come on, be right.
Oh yeah. Who's that?
Who's what?
This
DM.
His little
yeah.
baby.
DM. Yeah, I was like, he's small enough to be in the image, so we could just show him. Hey, welcome, DM. Welcome to the suppressive party, SP party. Okay, so next to Jeff, I feel like you're going to start to recognize some of these names because they're the younger ones, so maybe you'll start to go, oh, yup. Okay, so next to Kim Radstrom is, who is this? Gosh, it looks so familiar. Okay, I don't know, so we'll move on until somebody knows who one of these two are. This may be, no, I don't know. Okay, so this right here is Michael Flood. Do you guys know the Floods? Susie Flood, Pauline,
David Flood.
David and Pauline, that's correct.
David was in finance.
Oh, they were nice people.
Michael Flood's there, and his younger sister, Susie Flood, where is she? Right here. She was one of the youngest people. Yep, she was one of the youngest kids. I remember her being a year or two younger than me, and I was like, so she was really tall and skinny.
Yeah, she was on the Flag RPF with me before I left.
You mean Pauline? You mean her mom or somebody, right?
No, Susie Flood.
My best friend, Susie Flood. That's correct. She was sent to the RPF. I was on route outlines, and me and her were trying to leave.
You're really distorting on your...
It's because I have to mute Jeffy. Okay, so I muted Jeffy. So me and Susie Flood still are. I love this human for the rest of my life. I will always love her for the rest of me. We were really good friends at the Int Ranch. Always have been. I've always protected her. I love her. I would joke with her. We would share treats, packages, anyways, love this human being forever, no matter what. Susie Flood, we were, even in the Sea Org in Clearwater, we're best friends, and we were like dating and flirting, there's no such thing, but flirting with like the Latinos and all these Latino boys from Costa Rica, and they were coming in to join the Sea Org, and they knew nothing of a word of English or anything. Obviously, as we know, this is their human trafficking. This is how they traffic people from other countries. But me and her have been so close up to this day. We are still so close, even if I don't talk to her for a year. She's just had a baby. Yeah, she's an amazing human being. I love her so freaking much.
She was trying to get out.
Yeah, she's out. And so we were on route outlines, and I was so angry, so mad.
So where's she at now?
That she fucking went to the RPF. I got mad at her. I was like, why did you do that? I knew that. I said, they're only doing this to help you. She said, well, if I do the RPF and I don't like it, or I still want to leave, or I still have suicidal thoughts, or whatever it was, then she could go. And I was like, no. So now you have to start all. Anyway, so she was on the RPF. That's so crazy, Amy, that she was on the RPF with you. She is one of the dearest people in my life. Oh my God. Okay. So now she got out. Yeah, Mr. Jackson. She is in the Air Force or military, and she's married to. She just got married to somebody else who's in the Air Force, or I think it's the Air Force. I hope I'm not wrong. It's either Army or Air Force, but anyways, and she just got married after all these years. I mean, she's had amazing boyfriends and whoever, but she just got married maybe not too long ago. I think they're having their wedding in November very soon, and I don't know if I'll be able to make it or not, but anywho, she just had the baby, and I'm so proud of her. It feels like I had a child when she had a child. I'm like, oh good, now I don't have to have a child because she had one. I can continue with my rock star life. Yeah, so that's Susie. Pauline, I know that she definitely still has a connection in some way to her family. So, yeah, we obviously can't be the best of friends, but
sure,
I love her so much. I always will, and always, yeah. We were in Clearwater, EPF, yeah, she was sent to the RPF, etc. So that's Susie. And actually, right now, and then, yeah, her brother is right there. And next to her, who we've talked about a bunch, is Sarah Willett, who we all know, right, Jeff?
Steve Willett's
daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so then...
I understand that Steve Willett's out of the Sea Org now.
Is that real? I heard about that, too. I can't even imagine.
I hope that that's real, and if it is, I know where he is. He's in Seattle, because we come from Seattle.
Well, Jeff, maybe you guys can partner up and join.
Yeah, I would love to connect up with Steve. He was a good guy. Steve was a really good guy.
He was my friend for years, many years.
Mine too.
Yeah.
He worked in the States, and like Jim Mortland, your ex.
And then he was the CO Gold. He was the CO Gold too, and I remember hearing that at the Int Ranch, being shocked, what?
That was in 96, 97 when I left.
Yeah, and he was a good CO Gold. He was.
I felt that way too.
Yeah,
I felt that way too, even though I obviously wasn't in gold at all. But he obviously was the commanding officer of my parents, the whole time. So, or not the whole time, just as being the CO Gold. So I was just like, oh, well, they know. To me, it seemed like Steve Willett had his own daughter, obviously Sarah Willett, at the Int Ranch. So he might have a little bit of understanding or say in allowing the parents to be on time and go see their kids and stuff for the 2 hours or whatever it was on Sunday, or free time, CSP, whatever they want to change the wording to be, to child neglect. Okay, so here we go. So there's Susie, and then next to her, who can guess? The one and only. Who can guess?
Well, I thought you said you were to the right.
Oh, that's Jenna.
Who looks similar to me? Jenna Miscavige. There's Jenna, baby. Yeah. There's Jenna Miscavige. And look so she was tiny. And so she was tiny here in this photo. And for at least a year or two, she was my senior. She was above me in the cadet org. Like, I was a child and she was a cadet. And she was telling me what to do and like running us on jobs and stuff like that.
The early...
Little Jenna.
The early onset of a pecking order in what the hell?
Okay, so there's Susie, there's Jenna, right? Okay, so here's next is Treasure. Do you guys know Shanoa Treasure?
Mark Treasure's daughter, yeah. Mark and
who's her mom? She had red hair.
Yeah, she was a gorgeous lady. Well, I mean, she had an elegance to her.
No, you're so sweet. This is the love and sweetness that I love out of Jeff and Gary. Like they have this humbleness that they've had since they were at Gold Base and in this like horrible situation in the Sea Org, and they still have this sweet humbleness of like masculinity that can't be taught, which I really love. Anyways, Jackson, I just love your little face. Oh, nothing. Just I was just saying how much you listen.
Yeah, sweet humbleness.
Yeah, you guys got your sweet humbleness. You're lucky that didn't go away. Okay, so we got Shanoa Treasure
right away.
What's that mean?
Yeah, she recognized Jenna.
Oh,
and then there's Susie, and then let's go down this.
Susie's so cute.
Man, I want to say that's Lewis, Jay Lewis. Am I wrong? I want to say that's Jay. Sorry, what?
That's Lana's kid.
Lewis. Remember the story?
Carl Lewis was a CST from up on the hill. The bald, you know, he looked like a runner. He was a balder looking gentleman. Balder
Yeah, I
looking
think
gentleman.
so.
What kind of description is that?
Yeah,
he did
I don't
have
know.
like
Like even when you're saying it, Gary, I'm like remembering. I'm like, oh yeah, that's who his dad was. Somebody,
the ESI,
somebody.
the CST, the Church of Spiritual Technology, a separate secure location, which is where we assume Shelley's to be. Those staff are always elusive to the Int base. Even if they showed up, people would think they're like an outside contractor wandering without an escort.
Right.
But they'd been in the Sea Org for 20, 30 years at that point. And then he got busted to the base, but his kid was always here. I remember them. Yeah, oh my gosh, I can't believe
he was very tiny too.
You know, I mean, there's a terrible story behind his mother trying to get out.
Can you tell that, Gary? Sorry.
I can tell it really quickly.
Yeah. This is about this human's, Jay Lewis's mother and father, okay? Trying to be parents and spend the only time that they can with their kid.
Her mother missed the, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock bus out to the ranch.
Yeah, 10 o'clock bus. The only one. There's only one bus
Saturday
run.
night. On every Saturday night, they ran a bus out there for the staff who didn't have their own transport. And because she missed it, her drive was to still see her kid. She took it upon herself to walk from the Int base to Happy Valley. And Matt and Jeff, you guys know what that is, at night.
Oh yeah, it's like what, 8 miles or something.
Yeah, no, it's more than 8 miles, Jeff. It's a almost 20-minute drive, 15, 20-minute drive out there. So
it's at least an hour. It's an hour walk, especially if you're in the Sea Org and you can walk fast. It's a minimum of an hour walk.
A human being can walk 3 miles an hour. So it took most of the night. Like she arrived at 6 o'clock in the morning. But that isn't
because she missed the run, and normally you're allowed to stay with your kid through the night and then hang out with them in the morning.
She unfortunately was SA'd by an Indian on the reservation in the riverbed.
In the creek.
In the creek.
Because again, I said earlier, you follow the creek to get to, and if you follow, did you know about this, Jeff Hawkins?
Oh yeah, I spent time when I was offloaded from the base. I was at the Int Ranch for about 4 or 5 months. So,
did you know the Lewis, the mom of Jay Lewis?
Leah Lewis.
Leah Lewis.
Oh, Leah, sure.
She was a receptionist. She was before. She was original gold receptionist in HCO.
And
she was SA.
Oriental looking.
Yeah, I think Filipino. I want to say, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, she in her journey to see her kid.
She tried to walk there.
No, she didn't just try. She did. But on the way, Amy, she was assaulted by an Indian. Like
she got RAPED by an Indian, and on the property. And yeah, sorry. Oh, this makes me so mad because she's trying to see her son.
I know, sweetheart.
I'm muting myself.
No, that's okay. But yeah, Amy, she on the way was assaulted, full on, not just tried, but full on assaulted. And then when that's over, she continued her journey to then arrive at Happy Valley as though nothing happened. Forced to live with that, didn't report it, but just ended up connecting with her kid and spending the very precious little time that she could with him. We only found out about this the next afternoon.
Wow.
Because she was experiencing so much pain from the incident. And I will let you know this, that I did about 3 years ago, did a follow-up with my connections to verify, because I questioned whether it was completed or not. But when I found out about it, I saw to it that Houghton pursued legal action on the individual. They did find the guy, and he got prosecuted.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But the fact of, people need to understand, you know, we can go through all these kids and the tragedies. There's 80 separate individual tragedies attached to every story in there from the lack of these kids seeing their parents. But that little young one's mother was SA'd in her pursuit and drive to see their child in that very little time window. Mm-hmm. Isn't that just batshit crazy?
It really is.
That's like,
And I know she was also upset. She was upset about the fact that she didn't finish her target or her job in time. And so she was like, well, I'm still going to go.
I mean, this is the kids waiting. You know, when did the bus leave here? Like 10 o'clock? Saturday night, 11 o'clock? And then it would arrive by 11:30. And all the kids are there waiting for their parents to get off that bus. And her little daughter was disappointed that her mom didn't get off the bus.
No. Well, Jay Lewis, the son.
Well, I mean, the son, sorry.
Jay Lewis. I thought you were talking about me. That's how I felt as a kid. When my mom wouldn't get off the bus, I would be like, fuck, now I have to go work.
That night, anticipating the arrival of their mother, she didn't get off simply because, you know, there was no inquiring phone call back to the base. It's like, hey, is Leah coming out or not, to answer for that little kid. If they didn't get off the bus, they were just treated, well, they must be busy and it must be a reason. There wasn't like a phone call placed back to the base to find out why this kid's mom didn't show up or that kid's mom didn't, or parents didn't show up. None of that never happened. They just didn't show up.
And the child would just have to understand that, like literally, like we know our parents are trying. For us, though, as kids, we knew our parents were trying to see us. That's one thing for sure. I always felt as a child, my mom trying to see me whenever they were allowed, whenever there was a Christmas whenever they were trying to see me. They were trying to hang out with me, Colleen, and Jarrett when he was at the ranch. Like, that was there. It's not that they didn't want to. That's what I want to make very clear. That's why somebody like Jay Lewis's mom would go hiking up a creek for the whole night and not care because, and somebody marked in the comments, that's so sad. Hi, Shelly. Thank you. Yeah. That's so sad. Probably thought she pulled it in. Right, Gary?
Of course.
That's the way.
That was part of her handling afterwards. But, you know, I just want to point out to the viewers.
She got a handling.
Yeah, she got a... Yeah, no.
It was her fault. She pulled it in.
Quote, unquote, counseling. But because of... She did... I mean, how dark as it was, she did have enough details to be able to allow law enforcement to have found her. But... You know, I don't want to belittle by diverting to this idea, but people, to our listeners, you know, this is the grotesqueness of the environment that these kids were brought to, and in their minds with hopes to spend more time with their parents, but also to be kids and not even realizing it, but being cut short of it and being forced into this organized pecking order. Like Laura said, you're a child and a cadet, and you know, what is that, separated by a year or whatever, and these kids being forced to say there's a difference of importance or value between you and me. You know, it's just disgusting. So to not see, this is something that was going on at the Int base while Amy and Jeff and I were back doing our jobs to clear the planet,
working hard.
This is the kids, the offspring of the Int base staff, that 90% of the staff didn't even know the person they've been working with had a kid. Except when they weren't there and they were expected to get some sort of coordinated job done with them or for them, they would find out they were out seeing their kid, and the first natural response was like, well, that's a waste of time. It wasn't like, oh, okay, well, that's okay, we'll put this off till tomorrow, let them see their kid.
Right.
Did I ever hear
not
that?
A priority. No,
not
definitely not. In fact, we as children, we would get in trouble for disturbing or distracting our mom or our
if
parents.
If you started crying when the bus showed up.
Interpolating them. For interpolating them from their important job that's clearing the planet. So my problem, my upset is distracting my mother now because she's going to care, because she obviously has her second dynamic in. So she's going to care. It's going to distract her. But if you're presenting it as a problem and not a solution to something, then it's interpolating her. And I'm interpolating her.
Yeah. So anyway, that's, you know, unfortunately using the Lewis child to highlight a significant point.
That's just one story. All this, thank you for sharing that, Gary. Sorry.
I don't think there was any other parent who
let me tell you about this.
Effort. Oh my God.
No, Gary, don't. Please don't say that, because there were definitely... You're right. There was nobody who's had the story of Jay Lewis's mom the way that she did, trying to get to the ranch to see her son.
Right.
That's insane. And I just, anyways, yeah. But a lot of parents definitely dealt with so many horrific things and situations
we should have
and
gone
threats.
out there and burned that guy's house down is what we should have done. Believe me. That is just go ahead with you were highlighting another child there.
I'm glad that you followed up, Jackson. I'm glad.
Well, thank you, because I kind of felt
that would be hard not to.
I had the ability to be able to do it, and I actually had somebody. Yeah. They actually saw the documents and saw the details, and I verified it 100%.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So there's Jay Lewis. There's Jay Lewis. There's Tim Hines. This looks like Alden Anderson, but I don't know if he was at the ranch that young, so I don't think. Maybe it's Brad Horn. No, Brad Horn might be up here. Anyways, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Wow. I was just getting carried away. Okay, so down here, there's Jenna. There's Shanoa Treasure. We talked about her. Yeah. Oh, God, I know these kids' faces, and I feel so bad for...
Mark Treasure is Shanoa Treasure's
dad. Yeah.
Okay.
And her mom's name she has a like an interesting name, like... Oh my God! It just came to my mind right when you said that. Something Treasure. I'm remembering Sinead. I was thinking Sinead O'Connor. Sinead Treasure. I was remembering her writing a letter to her mom, and I want to say like it starts with an A or something. She had a really sweet name. But I remembered that memory just now as a child. Shanoa writing a letter to her mother.
Here's a funny story with Mark Treasure. Mark Treasure and his wife owned a VW bus, like a restored one in great condition. Mm-hmm. And Amy and Jeff, you guys remember where the original security booth was down by the garage, the old dog box?
Yeah.
Okay, well, during those times, Mark dropped his keys off to that VW bus with me at the booth and parked it behind the old booth there. And he said, hey, if you need to use it during the night, feel free. And he just kind of laughed. Well, it was that night Chris Byrne and Mary Stein blew in Chris's Jeep. And I chased Chris literally down to Dana Point in that VW bus with and chasing Mary and Chris. And remember Chris's Jeep, that orange CJ5 that he had? Mm-hmm. Hauling ass, like, because he had headers on it to the people in the auto world. You know what headers are, and it's a really meaty, throaty sounding racing exhaust on a Jeep. But I chased him the entire way through Paris, California, and just all the way from the base down to Dana Point. Anyways,
you should have let him go.
Well, we did. We ended up not finding him. I lost him in Dana Point, but that's where Mary's family was. I found out later.
He has passed away.
I know.
Yeah,
he was a good friend of Matt.
He had a wildlife preserve.
Yeah, he managed a wild in Waco, Texas.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Anyways, that's
just, he was amazing. I actually
he was
really
an incredible human being. Incredible human being. He was one of my firefighters. I got pictures in the local newspaper with him and I at the firehouse doing a pancake breakfast at the local news. Hemet News covered. Took our picture.
Yep.
I can't load it up here, but one day I will. But yeah, he used to be a firefighter.
Anyway, so that's a Mark Treasure story.
Yeah.
I don't recognize the person.
That's just crazy. Like, I didn't even know any of that about, I just knew their parents, and I knew when they came to see their children, they're so excited. Like, so to me, it seemed like all the Int Ranch cadets and parents were nice. To me, it seemed like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, it was like a Jekyll
and Hyde
heart environment. There was a great side and there was a shitty side. It played at all times.
What was the great side? Well, seeing our parents. I guess that was the 2 hour.
The fun memories. Like I was thinking the other day, how much I enjoyed patrolling the perimeter, going out to the riverbed, riding around the rover bike away from everything, and how much I enjoyed that.
I mean, that's sweet, Gary, but that's like how much. That's like no, you're totally right, and I have similar things, but I'm just saying that's in a mind frame of somebody being in a jail. Like they loved cleaning their toilet because it would make their toilet so clean and perfect. I'm not lying. It's not a joke, Amy. I'm trying to get perspective. Like there are people who literally loved having a beautiful, clean toilet. You're like, oh, what a nice feeling it is to just take a nice little poop without anybody being around. That's a huge thing. So, but you're in jail. So, like, where are you going to get your fun from? So, you riding I just wonder what your fun would have been if somebody's like, hey, Gary, instead of driving around the premises, would you like to go out and do something totally, you would have been like, this is fun. Yeah, I'd rather stay here.
I like riding the rover bike around the property. Nah. No, I like that we
That's all I'm saying.
Strawberry cheesecake once a year for dessert.
No, I really think that it's a good point. That's why I was laughing, Laura, because it's such a good point that, like, what you think is amazing to someone else who actually has some freedom would be like, what? You know?
But, I mean, they would be saying that, they would say the same thing I'm saying. They would say, Jackson, you realize you're saying this in a prison, so of course that's fun in a prison. It's fun in a prison to get free cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes at all. So, like, I probably would smoke cigarettes in a jail and think that was fun. What a freedom, right?
I love stepping out the back of the booth and having a smoke after the bus would leave, right? Yeah.
Oh, my God, my dad, same thing with my he was like, oh, it's a long track problem. I guess I have a long track problem because he kept wanting to have just one cigarette at the end of the night before he went to bed. It's creepy. Crazy creepy. Sorry. Anywho. Okay, let's go back to these. So, okay, next to Shanaeo Treasure. I can't, I remember her being this sweet little girl, and I don't remember who this little girl is. Anyway, sorry.
Real quickly, Dylan in the chat said that Carl Lewis was the OT translator. Yes, I remember.
For the CST. That's right. He had a really important job.
Yeah.
And he said that he had doubts.
We'll talk about that.
Tried to salvage them. Yeah, I starred these.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God, that's interesting.
Yeah, he was
wow, that just made me think about.
He was one of my security particles.
Particles?
A person is called
I was gonna. No. So wait, he wasn't one of your chiefs or guards. He was a particle, right?
He was a particle. It was just like
like an ethics particle.
Yeah.
Something that arrived to your plate in front of you that you had to deal with. That's.
People are particles or terminals.
Yeah, they're not human beings. They're particles or terminals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I want to make that clear. And even if he was like, maybe he was one of your particles, like, oh, he's a particle. I don't know. Actually, I think they only use particles for ethics particles. Like, oh, he's my particle.
Here's a relatable example is for our listeners. And your never ends. If you go to an auto tire repair shop to get your tire fixed, that shop would look at you as a particle that you're coming in the door. They need to move you through their production line and out the door. So that's what's considered a particle. Somebody that you bring in, you take care of, and you move out. You don't look at them as a human. You look at them as a particle.
No.
If that helps.
Yep. I know those last three boys on the bottom.
So this one here is Ben Weber. This one here. Did you know that, Amy?
Yep.
Jeff Weber's.
No, I didn't know that Jeff Weber and Ann Weber had kids.
Oh my
Ann
gosh.
Weber, let me tell you, let me inform you adults of something. Ann Weber was at the Int Ranch for so long. Sorry, maybe it's Jeff. I'm going to mute you, Jeff. I love you.
Don't move closer to
I'm muting Jeff. So Ann Weber was an adult, one of the long-term adults at the ranch. To me, very sweet. Honestly, in the long run, very sweet. Very much had to deal with a bunch of rebellious children. Obviously not giving the freedom that there should have been given as kids. But Ann Weber was also Ben Weber's mom. But Ann Weber, I slowly saw over the years, she was so sweet and so loving when she came to the Int Ranch. I'm not sure exactly why. It might have been because she had education and she actually had credentials of being a teacher or something like that. Because she was put at the Int Ranch to be a teacher that would teach us actual, real educational stuff from the outside world. But again, it's all monitor, and everything's computing because she's writing check sheets, and it's all Scientology. Even if you're getting through your GED stuff, like things that you would get through in the outside world, they still make a Scientology check sheet of how to get through that course. So Ann Weber was the only one that was really able to understand the outside. This is my opinion, by the way, as a child being raised at the ranch about Ann Weber. I think these things. I think that she was able to cope with the kids and their behaviors because she had her own son there at the Int Ranch, Ben Weber, as that's how we started to. I'm going to zoom in on little Ben right here. Ben Weber also was a very sweet kid, super into sports and everything. Just a solid boy. What a good boy. That's
Amy,
that's what I can remember about Ben. What a sweet boy.
The two boys to Ben's right, Amy?
Oh yeah. The three boys.
Wait, Jackson. I don't want to. Wait. First, let's finish Ben and Ann Weber, because Ann Weber was such a key. No, we're not. Ann Weber was such a key human being at the Int Ranch. She gave us the only education that we did have. She had patience for us. It's making me emotional. Her son was so sweet. In fact, her son would help the other kids be better, and like, because of the connection. Ann Weber also was the one that, because she gave us so much empathy and love, also seemed at times like the most hurtful, because if she just said something, it would hurt our feelings, because she was the most sensitive to us. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
As
a mother or father. So if I give her so much love, I always thought like she was so sweet, and then would have these like attacks of like, knock it off, and like get really angry, and like maybe squeeze the children's arm too hard or something to force them to do something. But I tell you, she was the least aggressive abusively out of all the Int Ranch adults or parents. Like, and she really did have love and wanted to educate us on outside world stuff. Like, she definitely wasn't very much like her job. She felt like she really wanted us to really understand whatever geography and math and everything we ever learned is because of her and the maybe two other teachers that also, like Andrea Clark became a teacher at one point. So like, she was a cadet, but she also understood like, her and Ann Weber worked well together. They were very much educating us cadets, us little freaking kids here that you see. The only knowledge we have that even seemed even remotely okay for us to talk to people in the outside world was because this adult, these 2 or 3 adults actually, maybe because they had their own son in the cadet org, I don't know, but they very much wanted us to learn. So
Ann Weber,
it's a double-edged sword is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Understood. Ann Weber was married to Jeff Weber.
I'm sorry, Gary. I love you, and I didn't want to just jump away from that because I need to talk about Ann Weber. And I know that every single person, every child at the Int Ranch knows exactly who Ann Weber is because they've all had very intimate personal dealings with her. So I really love her, respect her. I'm sorry. Woo, here's my apology. I'm sorry if I was ever really mean to you as a child and not listening to you, but I also do feel that she understood why I was acting that way. So I'm really sorry, and I love her very much, and I love Ben, her son, very much. Like, their whole family was really strong and sweet.
Well, we love you, Laura. You know that. Right?
Yeah. What I was going to say is I think that Ann and her husband was Jeff Weber.
He was a landscaper.
He was a total professional.
Professional.
So I'm thinking that they didn't kind of grow up in Scientology. They came with the outside world perspective rather than, the super, super strict growing up in Scientology perspective. Because Jeff, you couldn't get him to be mad about anything.
I know.
He was just such a sweet person.
He was a professional landscape architect. Go ahead.
Yeah, he was a professional landscaped architect that could be counted on to get anything done, and given incredible targets to get done, but he would get them done. And I didn't know that they had a child out there.
Yeah, isn't that
and it doesn't surprise me that he is super sweet as well.
And Jeff also would come to the Int Ranch, and we all loved Jeff. Jeff. He would teach us sports. He was so fun. I literally don't have any bad memories of Jeff, and knowing that he was married to Ann Weber and how much she had to deal with, and like, she's dealing with these kids, for like, there's 80 of us or whatever, all different ages, and she even has her own son, and all I can remember is her putting up with us so much, and I really love her for that, because she did give us our only education.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Ann Weber, and if you're out there, please talk to us. We would cherish to talk.
Contact Laura. Get a hold of me to get a hold of Laura.
She would know me as Megan Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan.
But definitely she would know. Wow, that hit me hard. I just remember that I gave her a lot of shit, but also at the same time, she was the only one I could really say things to.
Laura,
so I really appreciate you, Ann. And Jeff was so sweet. Jeff Weber was like the sweetest, like ideal dad. Like you would see him and you'd be like, wow, I wish I'm not that my dad, because I felt like my dad was kind of like Jeff as well. Like
he was totally.
And Laura and Anna
and same with you, Jeff Hawkins.
Anna and Jeff were kind of like a high school sweetheart couple. You know, that's how they came off.
Yeah,
with each
for
other.
sure.
You know? They were just so bubbly with each other and, you know, loving, but they were very good at what they did, and what they did pure. They had purity in their hearts. Like Jeff loved designing that. He designed the base landscaping when we were. I remember seeing him drawing up blueprints and drawing the outline of the trees and what type of trees, what type of flowers, and everything. I mean, that guy was incredible because he had to do it for my security system and around the entire base, 525 acres. He did the landscaping for it. Anyways, moving on.
I'm sure he also. No, you're great. I'm sure he also had a lot to do with the landscaping and ideas at the Int Ranch too, because he was working with us. But oh my God, I totally forgot about this, Amy. Don't you guys all remember, Jeff? They would send the Int Ranch cadets parents to the Int Ranch on Saturday renos to specifically didn't last long, but they would show us kind of like, hey, look, if your mom and dad are doing it, why don't we all learn how to do trenches and haul rocks? I have photos somewhere where I'll show.
I forget who.
This is how you dig a trench.
But I remember Jeff being really funny. The kids were laughing with him, so I just like little bad moments, Laura, like that.
That was an idea driven by. I want to say Steve Willett had something to do with it. There was a couple.
I'm sure. Yeah.
There was a couple of parents who decided, why don't we, as parents, to those parents who have kids out at the ranch, go out to the ranch on Saturday to have that as another interaction chance with their kids.
Yeah.
During renovations, so some of them got to spend and work with them out there. I mean, working with them, but still, just spend time with their kids on Saturday. I don't know if you knew that, Laura, but I do remember.
No, I didn't know that. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it was short-lived because it was considered other fish distraction to the mainline production. But
when he says other fish, that means other fish to fry. You're doing something. You're frying other fish instead of the one that we're all frying.
Yeah, you're here with the other mental distraction.
It's so stupid. Jeff Hawkins, do you know the Webers at all? Ann Weber, Jeff Weber.
I knew them not well, but I knew who they were. Yeah.
Did you know Ann Weber having a job at the Int Ranch at all?
Did you know?
Oh, Ann Weber works at the Int Ranch? Because you know who Ann Weber is, right? Visually, you can remember her.
I can't remember faces anymore. But,
she was a short brunette, wore glasses, just a
short brown hair.
Yeah, short.
She had a big mole on her chin for like a big clear mole forever, and then she got it removed. But she was so cool. Anyway, sorry. I was just wondering if you knew. Did you know Jeff Weber? Because he was at the Gold Base.
Yeah.
I'll show you a picture. I need to pull up pictures.
I remember him being a good guy, but not much.
Okay, cool. Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you guys. This is so crazy with the Weber there. I just went down a little emotional wreck hole.
Amy's
okay.
a few kids to the right of
Weber. By Weber over here.
Yeah, the two.
Yeah, we're getting
right.
it. So
all three of those.
All three of these. Yep. Wait. Let's see if you're right. Let's see if Amy's right. Ready, guys? So for this one right here.
Okay, so that is John Lansing.
Correct. Yep. This one.
Yeah, and that is Power Coleman.
Correct. Yep. Correct. And this one.
And that is Allen.
Nikolai Allen. Good job! See, this is how we know we have official people here who were there, who know. They're legit. We are legit. All right. Too legit to quit. That was a song they played all the time at Gold Base in the dancing time. Remember the whole thing? Too legit. Wait, Jet. Too legit to quit. Remember that whole dance? Come on, guys. Yeah. Too legit. That's the Jet. Too legit to quit. Okay, that's it. Anyways, so
it's too legit.
Legit. But they were saying jet like a jet. Too legit. All right, enough of that.
At our events, the gold musicians would sing that stupid song.
Yeah.
Too legit.
Okay, so Nikolai Allen. Let's talk about Nikolai Allen's parents.
So I know
Yeah,
everything.
I worked with,
And you know Nikolai Allen because he did go to Gold Base, right?
Yep.
yeah.
And I know
Go ahead,
out of
Jeff.
New York too.
No, I knew Gabrielle very well. You know, and she's out now as too.
And that's Nikolai Allen's mom, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that she's out.
And her son's and he's out. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. Okay, he's out.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
he
who was
runs his own
Nikolai
successful
Allen's
business.
dad?
So Nikolai Allen's dad was a Scientologist, but never in the Sea Org.
Never
so,
in the Sea Org.
Okay.
So Gabrielle
I think I kind of remember
She was
that.
a single mother.
joined the Sea Org with Nikolai by himself. And yeah, so Gabrielle, I know her really super well. She was in marketing, so Jeff worked with her directly for years.
Yeah.
And then she got sent to the RPF. Who doesn't get sent? Anyway, so then she was my twin. And because her husband, they were offloading her husband named Gil, she wanted to go with him. And so she left the Sea Org, and that was about 2004. That's when I twinned up with my husband, Matt, before we got married, and we did made a whole plan to get out of there. So thank you, Gabrielle.
She did the hokey pokey.
and if Gabrielle was there, that would never have happened. So I'm glad that she left. But anyway,
Gabrielle's a very, very good looking lady, by the way. I just want to say that. Distracting.
Thank you, Jackson. So Nikolai is out. He's got 2 kids. He's married, and Gabrielle is out. So that's all good. I'm glad that they're out.
That's great. Okay, good. Here, Power Coleman.
Power. Pure. His name is Pure Power. Like his first name is Pure, and his last name
at Gold Base.
I mean, middle name is Power. And
at Gold Base, that's what.
No, that's what his mom named him. She was probably a hippie at the time, and she named him Pure Power.
Oh, you're saying, wait, his middle name or something is Pure?
His first name is
that's
Pure.
His first name.
His middle name is Power.
No, Pure Power Coleman. Oh my goodness, I did not know this.
About him he had an accident and he was off the base, and somebody, was trying to give him help and asked for his name, and he said, Pure Power, and they were like, okay, kid, what's your real name? And no, that's really my name. Okay, good. What's the phone number that we can call? And he goes, I only know the phone number 1-800-I-WANT-HELP. And they're like, is this a whole joke or what?
And who created that phone number?
Gary.
You did.
I did.
Mr. Jackson.
That's incredible. That still holds water to
That's so crazy. Wait, so do you remember the full story with Power or Pure Power? Like what was the thing what was that incident? I want to know about that.
He had some sort of accident. Was it Mark Headley knows the whole story.
Okay, I'll talk to Mark on that. I'm going to write that as a Mark Headley note.
Yeah, Pure Power Coleman. He tells that story amazingly.
Wow. I knew his mother really well. She worked for me for years. Cynthia Coleman.
Yes.
Yes, she was marketing.
Yeah, she was one of the artists.
Yep.
Tell us more, Jeff. Tell us.
Well, she did all of the. She and Carrie Cook were the main artists, and they did all of the airbrush paintings and things for book covers.
And the binders and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
I remember that.
The tape binders and all that. They did all that artwork. And so I knew her quite well. And she was my junior for years, along with Carrie Cook. And and I knew about Power. And I knew Power when he came to the base, and he was working in special effects. So I knew Power from that.
That's interesting. Hey, Jeff, can I put this up only because somebody's asking, saying they really need this answered? Can you see that question?
Yeah, I see it there. And he's referencing Quora, if you guys know what Quora is.
I don't know what that is.
It's a website where you can ask questions and get answers. And there are at least three Scientologists who post on there regularly. He's named in his comment, and I usually go on and counter whatever they have to say. So it's just a little side hobby of mine. But
and he wants to know, should he care about being mentioned in that thing? He shouldn't worry.
No.
Yeah, he shouldn't worry about that at all.
I wanted to add a little tidbit to this whole marketing thing, and Jeff mentioned the airbrushing artwork for the packaging to the L. Ron Hubbard lectures and those binders. Amy, you probably remember those too.
Yes.
There was a time that I was on a pretty intense security detail on an individual named Tom Rommelhart, who was being held accountable for this major security breach of Miscavige's emails and church documents to the outside world. Anyways, I had to create a surveillance system to watch this guy 24/7. So at the church's expense, and I think their Amex card or whether, me and Ben Shaw went out shopping one day and bought probably, I think I had 4 or 5 pinhole color cameras and bought microphones and cabling and power supplies and all this to wire this guy's room with color hidden cameras and stereo audio. So all the recordings could be heard back in color and in stereo. And I used one of these binders, Jeff, one in particular. I don't remember the title of it, but it was an airbrushed thing of the universe with distant planets and stars and the Milky Way and stuff. And in the spleen of it, I gutted the inside. If you remember, if you open up those binders, it had those cassette tapes, what press fit into their little molds.
Yeah.
And I cut out the section of that, and I put a camera in there, and the camera looked out through the spleen through one of the stars. So even if you were to recognize it was a little piece of glass staring at you, oh, did we lose Amy? Oh, there she is.
No, you're good.
I don't know if she could still hear my story, but
she can.
But for an entire better part of a year, this guy would sit at this desk, and right in front of him was a shelf where you'd have your dictionary and maybe an encyclopedia or the Admin Dictionary, you know, church references right in front of his face. I had this binder he never touched that had this camera staring him at the face, and I just chose that binder, Jeff, particularly because of the airbrushing had little stars in it. So it wouldn't seem out of the ordinary.
Be obvious.
Yeah, be obvious at all. But it took me a couple hours to make that. And it successfully, I mean, Mike Sutter was flabbergasted that I got a camera that close to this guy's face every day, 24/7 while he was studying. It's a wicked situation and scenario to have done, but I still did it. But nonetheless, that just reminded me of what those ladies created. I tried out using the benefit of their talents to secretly record somebody's day-to-day life. Anyways.
And who was it that I missed who you were recording?
Tom Rommelhart. You never knew him because he was a nighttime computer operator down in Los Angeles in Incom. Mm-hmm. And this was around the O.J. Simpson trial, if you remember that time period. Yep. That we also did the raid on Incom and
I remember that whole time period.
Yep, the whole Glendale house raid and all that. So yeah. Anyways, Jeff, it's funny, our little relatable stories that we sit here and talk about our interactions. We all had our own little fingers in the same pie, just in our different ways that we never knew.
Yeah. John Linson, who's the last person on the bottom
right here.
I know about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the way you said that, Gary. We all had our little fingers in the pie. and then literally these little fingers, all of us, eventually become a part of the pie. It's so crazy. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, John Lindstein.
You were already in the pie.
Yeah.
The
finger was already poked.
So John, he's out of the Sea Org, which is really good.
Yeah.
But his
where is he? Are they speaking out? I would love to talk to all these people. I know that would be very wild. Let's try to get everybody up on this.
See, Nikolai Allen was going to sue. He was going to be part of Mark and Claire's lawsuit, but he pulled out of it, maybe because they were threatening about family disconnection on his wife's side. I don't know. His wife's name is Amy. Anyway, on John, his Mom is Mariette Lindstein. His dad is Billy Lindstein. Billy Lindstein is still in.
At the Gold Base?
I wouldn't say he's at the base.
What was his last? I saw him doing. He was advertised as being a guest speaker from International Management for something. Billy Lindstein for some fundraiser.
Mike would know, I think.
So his dad is still in, but John is out, and he's been out for many years, and he's married, and he may even have kids now. And his mom, he's in touch with his mom, and she lives in Sweden with Dan Kuhn. When she left in about 2005.
That is so good to hear. Mariette's in touch with her own son. That's just
and that's incredible. Mariette is a best-selling author in Sweden now.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah.
She's got like a trilogy or 4 or 5 books about her story and the Scientology and leaving the SEALs and everything.
It's not her story. It's like sci-fi.
Fictionalized.
It's like sci-fi, scary demon cult books that she did, and it is
beautiful success. Like she's a full-blown author, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
From
Sweden. She's a big author in Sweden.
From AVC director. God, she used to run that whole. Yeah, anyways, my gosh, that story. Oh my gosh, that's just an impressive. Go ahead. Amy,
but yeah, John is out, and he's in touch with his mom, who's declared. So I don't know what the deal is with Billy being in touch with his dad at all. I don't know.
This is good. I'm going to start doing a little investigation to find out who else we can have up other than me and a few other people talk as children being a part of
being an SP allows you to be free. Being an SP allows you to be free. Anyways, for some reason that was kicking my head.
So there's that's a good one. Is this? So did you just come up with that?
Yeah, it's so free to be an SP. It's so free to be an SP.
That's scary. I love that. I have one that we're putting together right now for y'all watching. We're making these Proud SP shirts, that are they're goldenrod, and they just say Proud SP with an exclamation point, and then under it, in my writing, it looks kind of like child writing or whatever. Under it says in parentheses, safe person. So anybody can wear this shirt, so that would be really cool. But I'm writing along with that. It's a music. There's going to be a song about being a proud SP, and that your little jingle right there fits right in. I feel like we need to have Gary, side producer. I'm going to be like, I co-wrote this with Mr. Jackson.
Yeah.
And what did you say, Laura? Was that S stood for? Sane?
Safe or sane. That's fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mine was safe person. That felt anything with an S. Yeah, anything with an S. I definitely have a whole board that has a list of S's of what other than suppressive. And the one that I loved the most that related, I thought, just to the whole world without knowing what an SP is, just a proud, safe person. Because I feel like I am a proud, safe person for anybody. If you came to me with anything and need help, whatever, like I would be safe enough to adjust, like see the whole, see the situation, what's going on. I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love how I just said that. I don't know. You know what I mean?
That sounds like Wilson
I totally know.
It sounds like Wilson Equez if you guys ever knew him, a gaffer down the shoot crew. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You know what I mean? He always said
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. I was thinking maybe this is Sterling because Matt and Sterling used to hang out a lot. I was trying, or Brendan O'Hare. I know there was O'Hare's.
That's Brendan right there. That's
yeah, Brendan. There you go. I would think Sterling's in here. Where's Sterling?
Look for.
Would he be next to Justin?
Right in the center.
Skinniest little punk boy.
No, Justin is. Where's?
Crazy.
Justin's
Sorry,
up
baby.
Right there.
Where's Justin?
Up
here.
Right there.
No. Is that him? Okay.
That's
I thought
Justin,
maybe Sterling.
Sterling would be a lot smaller.
Is that him?
A petite boy.
Oh, so he would be here.
Yeah. So
one of these, maybe this. It just, they start to get blurry.
Yeah, they do, don't they, huh?
Yeah, it sucks.
God,
whatever.
At least it's a picture.
I've been watching. I'm gonna mute Jeffy, I'm gonna mute you a little. I've been watching Sterling and Aaron growing up. I always had this resentment towards Sterling just because I don't know. It just felt like he just. Anyways, whatever. I'll talk about that with him later, and then we can heal that on an episode. But I've been hearing him. I definitely was laughing with him and Aaron talking about all kinds of things, and just the anyway. It's just good to see people as they are now. Even cadets that might have been abusive or were trained literally to be abusive to other kids and stuff, or to be like the bully or not invite younger kids because they're too, you know what I mean? It just felt like whatever. So but it's fun to be able to watch these people now on their channels and not have so much resentment anymore. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen, you know, I don't know, right? Sorry, Jeffy, I saw you were trying to talk. I can hear your kids in the background.
Yeah, that's my my grandniece Evelyn and my grandnephew Solomon. So
wow, good names.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm gonna just mute
Laura. I'm getting to a point soon that I got to get going. Just so you know. So
yeah, same with us all. So I'm gonna just mute you, Jeffy, and then wave when you want to comment in on any of the things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want
yes,
me to
Amy,
put the
go.
Stars.
Yes. So I was just gonna say, here's the full picture now. This was an old photo, so there's more kids later that came to the ranch. Like Sam Francis is not in this photo. Sky Center, Josh Center. There's a bunch of people in here that aren't in the photo. So these are just the beginnings of some of the people we're talking about, and this was really good to have. Just to have all you guys pop in and be able to speak about the names of these people and the parents and the situation and everything that they've been through. So that's super awesome. Thank you guys. Yes.
Can I just say, like in the center next to like the one that's Mike Sutter's daughter? Isn't
Melissa
with the hair?
Oh, maybe. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
That's from the distance. I thought maybe it was him, but
no, it doesn't look like. Also, there's a bunch of people here we didn't go through, right?
Yeah.
There's Sarah Willett. Yeah, we did that. There's Zoe Woodcraft. That looks familiar. I know his name. These names I know, and I just can't. I'm like, it'll come to us later. So it's good. I'm glad we have this photo because then people can all see it, and then we can always pause it and look at it and figure.
And all of these people had lives, you know, and
they still do exactly.
Yeah, and some of them really struggled with getting out of the Sea Org, and some of them struggled when they got into the Sea Org and got onto posts, and you know, all of their little innocence. They never got to just play as little kids. You know, everyone had a job and a chore and a assignment and statistics that they needed to get up. Just as little kids, you're indoctrinated into what you're going to be facing when you get a post in the Sea Org, and it's super sad.
I just did a quick head count while I'm sitting here. If what I was looking at came up with 76 kids right there.
Yeah.
That's 76 individual
and then there's more
souls that had parents at the Int base. 76 of the Int base staff. Well, there may be so
I would say
60 to 70 of the Int base staff had kids.
Yeah. I would say there was a total of 120 kids in and out of muting Jeffy. There was a bunch of kids in and out of the cadet org. I mean, at the Int Ranch, the total of like 120 kids. Well, that was that, guys. That's crazy. Okay, so let's go to starred stuff and questions and all that. If you have any questions, put them out now. Thank you all for being here and listening to us. Thank you, Jeff, Jackson, I should say Mr. Amy Scobee, Mr. Hawkins,
oh my God,
Mr. Moorhead Jackson.
No.
I'm kidding. So
holy smokers, you just brought back. Hi, Mr. Jackson. Oh my God.
Mr.
Do you want me to pull them up, or do you?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, because I wanted to show this one.
Yes. This picture is so deceiving. All those smiling faces. Yes, 100%. And in the same way, like the double-edged sword way, it's also not deceiving. Like, what kind of group would be so organized like this, and we're all like, it's so unnatural for children to be this way. So, and having all these like fake smiley faces. Yeah, you would always have somebody that's not really doing whatever they're supposed to be doing in a photo like that. You know what I mean? If you have children or you're around children, where somebody's messing, but it's fun. It's like your high school pictures. They're totally not like that. So, and by the way, we never wore those uniforms.
Oh, you didn't?
No, they were there for photos, and then we would take them off, put them. That was our PR uniforms.
Their dress uniforms, like our Class A.
No, we wear white shirts and khaki shorts.
Ceremonial Class A.
Or blue jeans.
The kids' ranch version of the ceremonial Class A.
Yeah, for real. Shiny. We learned how to polish our shoes and everything. Mm-hmm. We learned how to polish our LA gear.
Yeah.
Sorry, Laura was definitely not nattering. This is from Philosophy. Laura was definitely not nattering. She was trying to stand up for what's right and true and ethical, and she had every right to raise these out ethics practices when the cult claims to be ethical. 100%.
100%.
Yeah. The power lies to the paralyzed, says, their poor little developing brains being subjected to the stimulation and manipulation of electricity via the carrier wave of the E-meter. Oh, yeah.
That was deep right there.
For sure. I was like, where am I going with this? Lou says Frank Norton was Asho Day. That's, I'm assuming Asho D.
Yeah,
Asho Day, public MAA in 2000.
The ethics officer, yeah.
Right. There weren't two Norton kids at the Int base. The only Norton kids was Ron and Jan's kids. So I'm a little confused by this statement.
What do you mean? Huh. No.
His daughters were at Gold. Frank Norton. I only know one Norton.
Yeah, Trisha Norton and Mike Norton.
Yeah, the children of Jan and Ron. I'm not sure who Frank Norton.
Because
Frank Norton is not the dad.
Maybe the daughters were at Gold, not at the Int base. Okay. Maybe she turned out later to be Gold staff.
Oh,
2000, that would have been 3 years after I left. But okay. I did not know that, Frank. Thank you.
Yep. It was Lou that said
Lou,
that.
Yeah, Lou said that. And then Lou also said Mark Lobato worked at Asho Day as the DTS for a few years. Then AOLA.
Yeah, so the DTS is the Director of Tech Services. Yeah.
Wow.
So he went down to LA. I didn't realize that.
Well, yeah, everybody was displaced elsewhere.
Yeah. Hey, Jeffy, why don't you mute yourself, and then you can unmute whenever you want to chime in.
Okay.
On the left on your screen, it says mute on your bottom left. So when you do that, you can just press that, and then there you go. And then whenever you want to unmute yourself to chime in, you can, and that way I don't have to worry about muting you or unmuting.
Aaron is Pat Bromley's only child. That's right.
CC. Hi, CC. Says, yes, CC. Aaron is Pat Bromley's only child.
Yeah. She was a cutie, little Aaron.
Aaron Selly. That's how I know her, right? We're talking about the same Aaron, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Blow drill. This is from Dylan. Carl was the OT translator for for CST.
I'm humored by Dylan using his tag ID of the blow drill that I created. I can't believe that. It's kind of comedic.
Yeah. You're going to go down in history for having created a blow drill, Jackson.
Yep.
I want to have you on my channel, Jackson. I got some serious questions for you.
I remembered specifically drawing that up, typing it up, and submitting it for approval. That this was the official means.
Look at Hawkins' little family. Hi! Look at how cool she looks.
Yeah.
She looks so cool because she's see-through.
You can unmute them, Jeff, so we can... They're pointing
I should unmute. Yeah, Jeff. I'm going to unmute you, Jeff. There you go.
Hey, little buddy.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Landscape.
That's what I'm saying. You look so cool. Your shirt looks like a landscape, like you're part of Earth.
Well, he's got a background setting on his camera.
I love that, Jeff. That's so crazy.
Cool. Yeah. That's
Did you do that, or is that just a weird glitch?
I think it might be a weird glitch.
It's set with a background.
Yeah.
It's clearly not. Your background, we can see everything in your background.
No, it requires to have the shirt that she has. Is
she wearing a green shirt?
A green shirt, yeah.
Because anything green, there you go. Green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we can see your whole entire back there, except for it's just like it looks like it's from Star Wars because it's got glitter on the outside.
Yeah.
We had a very successful.
That's
we
funny.
have pet rats, and we had a successful rat training session.
That's Laura.
That's awesome.
Amy, and that's Jackson.
Okay. Hi.
What's your name? What's her name?
Evelyn.
Yeah.
Hi, Evelyn.
I go by Effie.
Hi, Evie.
She goes by
Hello.
Evie. They're all saying hi to you.
Yes. What? Tell them.
Thanks for stopping by.
So Logan
So
also says that Carl was the OT translator for CST, which is the Church of Spiritual Technology. Or
Yeah, I think that was talked about when you stepped out, Amy. That
Yeah, no, but that was good. But also, that's I want to add to that is that it's just interesting that he was put on different positions, like different, and people from whole different. Like CST is complete. CST is complete. Oh, wow. There's your background, Jeff. We were seeing you pigs birthing living room.
Ouch.
But that was really cool with your niece or whatever. Now we see your look at now you there's your ethical living room. Look at he got his he did a white glove pass. All of a sudden
there's Jess Baldwin in the background too. She plays this.
Jeff, you should have been doing this the whole time.
That was
oh my god. This is
and
great.
The
Gary,
makes it look like you're outside.
Yeah. Did you bring your glasses, Gary?
I've got
now that we're at coming to the end of this, let's make sure we have a little fun.
It makes you look like you're in prison, Jeff.
I've got these stupid things.
He's part of the Pink Floyd band.
I don't know, whatever that is. This is my tequila.
Oh my god, look at Jackson with his you need those. Jackson, leave those on. Those are the ones.
Well.
Oh wait.
Then I've got these
too. What are those? What are those?
Strange. I don't know.
Oh, watermelon.
Yeah, I'm preferring that.
Watermelon.
These make things so much better.
Okay, Jackson, leave those on. No. Leave those on so I can help so I can be with you in some way. Relax.
Jesus.
All right. So, Jackson, while we have you here still, Jeff and his high sky society.
Look at he's skydiving.
Well, love Sherlock from Portland metro area. I was going to mention the weather because
love Sherlock at Jeff representing our Portland metro area.
Incredibly beautiful day today. It's just your classic Portland fall weather, crisp air, crisp blue skies. All the colors are coming anyway. Just gorgeous here.
Do both of you guys live in a similar area?
Jeff and I can throw a rock in
I've been telling them to hang out and do their own shing dang dang.
Well, I can almost throw a rock and hit Jeff's
roof and vice
versa, but
yeah, we only live a couple miles apart.
So. At the most, yeah.
Oh.
You know what's going to happen, Amy?
Randomly, I'll be sitting watching TV and there'll be a knock at the door. It's Jeff out for one of his walks.
Yeah. Or it's me and Jeff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just have to go there and then I'll be like, all right, let's go, Jeff. I'm picking you up. We're going to see Jack. I know where he lives.
I did not realize that that previous star that you had up was somebody who's from our Portland, Oregon area. It's always good to know.
Yeah, they did say.
Yeah.
And this one says Jackson is everybody's dad and uncle.
It says uncle.
Yay.
Not mine.
Or
not my dad or uncle, but
no.
Okay, wait, but for reals, guys, do me and Amy Scobee DNA, don't we look similar? Okay, we have similar emojis. I have to show them, Amy. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, look, the difference, okay, hold on, let me fix this. The only difference between mine and Amy Scobee's emojis is glasses. So, if I have glasses, do I look more like Amy Scobee? Yes. I feel like my dad right now. I don't know why.
Yeah,
you're a much younger version of myself.
Anyways, no, but Amy, we very much have similar emoji. Let me see if I can just pull this up really quick. Amy, so literally, you know how you're able to put the your emoji things on your phone by yourself, like your eyebrows and whatever. Maybe you don't know if you have the Apple phone, you won't know, or if you don't. But look at. I told her, I said, look at us. We look related. I don't know if you can see this. But that's me up there. And that's her with the glasses. Like, they look like the same. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
You guys have the same stylist.
Yeah. We have the same Apple emoji stylist. Anyways, that was funny. Okay, moving on with our lives. All right, let's go. Any more questions and star things? And then we're going to... Yeah, I can't wait to answer all these. This was just such an interesting panel today.
I guess they're referring to the Hill Kid.
Becca's, hi. I have to do this, Becca's, because they're literally he, she, they, whatever. I don't know. They've been in so many of our channels for so long, and they're just dope. And they really do ask really good questions, and they're here for us. Question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hill, what was his father's post and name?
I don't think he ever came to the base. Sharon was a single mother at the Int base, as far as I knew.
Right. Yes,
Well,
Sharon Hill. Sharon Hill.
Wasn't his name Harkeen?
No. That was she later.
Oh, I know the.
She
wait.
married Joaquin, but that was not.
She married Joaquin.
Well,
Wait, so who are you talking about, Jeff?
Javier Joaquin. So Sharon Hill, married, who was the mom, married later Javier Joaquin.
Yeah, which I don't have a good story to tell about that, but that's
you don't tell that story.
No,
I know. And but before that, so she was single. So she brought her.
Never knew where his father was. That's actually a good point.
We don't know the story about that.
Yeah, I wonder if he was in L.A. It's still staffed down in Los Angeles or what? That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't answer that for you, Becca's.
Yeah, but later she got married to Javier, and I don't know. I don't think they stayed married because Javier left the Sea Org, and I don't think they were together.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her disposition is. She was a great gal, though. She was a very full of energy gal. She was an artist up there. I remember she had one of those angled tables, wasn't she, Matt? Jeff? Yeah.
Amy, no yawning on the live stream.
Hold on, I gotta unmute. Yeah. What'd you say, Jeff, about Sharon?
Wait, I said no yawning on the live stream to you, Amy.
No,
I didn't say yes, sir, very loud, did I? Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I didn't receive your acknowledgement.
But Sharon was in charge of the artists.
Yeah.
And, to be honest, she was not very easy to work with. She had a temper.
Yeah, she wasn't a very happy person.
Yeah.
Jeff's so sweet about how he says things. Again, humble.
Yeah.
Very humble. I was going to also say, go back to Blow Drill, that one, whatever that was. I think that was about Bruce. That was about Bruce.
It was about Carl Lewis.
It was?
Sorry.
Carl. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Carl. That's right.
Spoke about that, Dylan. Sorry, buddy.
No, not sorry, buddy. We love you.
No, I'm just sorry that if he didn't, well, that was a question he kicked out a long time ago, but
okay.
Amanda Beaumont.
Amanda Beaumont or Beaumont.
Beaumont, California.
It is all Beaumont evil. Well.
I sat at the Beaumont Greyhound bus station on many a days.
Hey, Jackson, she's reading.
I just can't help.
Go ahead.
No, I like it. I like that he's. So anyways, it is all evil, correcty. I just can't understand how the authorities don't see it / find a way to stop it and get justice. What do you mean by authorities, first of all? And second of all, I kind of already know. Do you mean like the police officers, child services, etc., like social services? Sure. But if authorities are not given, like, for example, when we just did the protest at Celebrity Center literally a week ago or whatever, the first person they arrested was our security guard, who is permitted for a weapon, who was an ex-LAPD officer for 20 years, So, like, the police don't know this. There's false reports all the time. What the police need to do, what social services needs to do, is start going and showing up to the organizations where these elderlies are said to be held, and just say, when's the last time you had a break? Really do your simple investigations of thinking, hearing all these information that we're all talking about, all these channels, the SBTV channels and everything, saying like, all right, so does this happen? Do you get Tyson B when this happens? Who's sent to the RPF? Like the evidence is there, so
I can
do the job if you really care. And that's why they don't see it, because the pressure isn't on them, because Scientology has very manipulative ways, whether they're paying people in the police station individually, if they're in the community in some way with money to have the community be able to do something that has nothing to do with Scientology. The money is still fronted, given, or received by Scientology. And I want for people listening, you should never, ever, ever take money from Scientology. In fact, never give or take money from Scientology. You are already putting yourself in a very inhumane situation.
Yep.
And whoever that was, just to let you know, it is being worked on. I will tell you that.
Okay, and then Miss Amber Sunshine wanted to know the names of the book that Mariette Lindstein wrote, and it's called, there's three of them that I know of. One is called The Cult on Fog Island.
Fog Island.
One is called Fog Island, and the other one is Shadow of Fog Island. So that's a trilogy right there.
And it looks like Becca says that Robert Hill, Shannon's husband, was a CO Toronto. If I'm correct in the comments there, just to answer some questions. I did not know that.
Can you pull that up, Amy? I would like to know that, because I would like to know anybody that was in any Scientologist org in Toronto, Canada specifically. I would like to just know you, because I need to know what years. My whole family started, literally, my mom and dad in Toronto, so in the Scientology organization. So I wonder.
Have you spoken to Gabriel?
I have not. I've not spoken to anybody.
I need to tell you about her. She has a channel. She was the ED in Toronto, and also the personnel. So
wow.
Okay. From what years do you know?
She's got a channel. Nope. She's
okay.
asked me
This will be
do
fun.
A
Perfect
video with her.
Becca, please remind me if I don't get back to you. Can you please remind me? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I've got things to talk about Toronto Scientology organizations. Canada, anything Canada. Yeah, me, Becca's,
one you guys wanted. Okay, good. Okay, let's see if there's anything else.
Wow.
This person wanted us to know that is a spitting image. My younger self.
Yeah, Lauren. Yeah.
And this one I starred because I thought it was interesting. You know, the juxtaposition of kiddos having a normal functional life behind
Rosalind.
All these stories are being told kind of highlights the pain.
Excuse me, I have a misunderstood word. What's the juxtaposition?
Oh, okay.
That's like the
comparing them side by side. So
Is that a real word?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What does
Here,
it mean?
I'll get the definition. I'll get it.
This is whoa! I just had like an ephany. I'm gonna write this down right now.
Make sure you got your demo kit out. Make sure you have.
I am. I'm getting my clay ready right now.
I've got it.
What I was gonna say is that name. Hold on, I'm gonna write it down. Sounds like a song title.
Juxtaposition.
I mean, that sounds like a really
Amy
weird.
has a definition ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, what it means is the fact of two things being seen or placed close together with contrasting effect. And so we're talking about children being locked up, basically, and then behind Jeff are kids playing and having fun.
Yeah.
So, you know, the comparison of the two, normal life functioning, you know, behind Jeff while these stories are being told highlights the pain.
Yes, they were feeding the rats who are, oops. How can I point?
Oh,
the rats live there, so they were feeding their pet rats.
Oh, that's funny. Somebody wants to know if Jeff has a channel.
Sorry, Jeff does not have a channel, but I also was diving in on the rats, and I muted myself, and I didn't mean to do that. Jeff, it's so sweet how your family are so calm and cool around you. Like, I'm not kidding, guys. To see Jeff on the live stream as he is, without my professional mic being sent to him on its way. But just how cute. And look it, he's such an artist. He's doing stuff. He has family. They're walking around and they're like, oh, hi. Like, Jeff's not, this is what I'm talking about authenticity. Like, this is why this is a human who I can trust, who's been out of Scientology, out of the Sea Org, out of Gold Base. I mean, it's just cool. You seem like, it feels like we are little, like, this is when we talk about spirits, Gary, Amy, we are all always connected spiritually forever.
Yeah.
Like, just because I know Gary, Jackson, I know how you are. I know Jeff now. I know Amy. Like, so now this is like it. Anyways, what I'm getting to is just to see your children, or not your children, but your family members to be running around and telling us on this live stream about the whole Int Ranch kids and like being controlled our whole lives. And then here Jeff's just like, oh yeah, back in his world. Like, this is going to be amazing someday. If my mom ever watches, if she ever gets out, she will be watching all this, I'm sure. And then she will see, look, Jeff's Jeff's there with his family. Wow, he doesn't care. Like, maybe I'm showing fun and I'm a creative act. Like, ugh, I hate acting or actors. I hate that word. But I love expressing and setting up my stage and having my performance and sending my message and being the person I am, because there is nobody like me. But having a good friend like Jeff Hawkins or Jackson or Amy, who my mother knows personally. She will know every one of you. My father knows every one of you. So even us having a fun, realistic it's like us having a casual, fun conversation is so healing and therapeutic, more than anybody ever knows. So the judgment, and whenever it is there, I just go, I don't care about the judgment. I don't care. I literally will look away and keep living my life. Like, because I have these solid friends and these solid, knowledgeable people and spirits who have been through a shitload of mental psychology and physical abuse, and still being healthy and happy and understanding it in the end. It gives every human at the Gold Base a chance to, like, get out, even if they have Rosemary's story.
I know.
Mike Brown, like, it gives them a chance to literally live their lives and enjoy the autumn, the leaves changing in spring. Rosemary sends me pictures, and she's like, I love seeing the leaves change. Like, imagine the love of being able to see the leaves change and fall and enjoy that as an elderly person, because you were never allowed to relax that much to notice.
So
it's
true.
Amazing.
Or floating on the mighty Columbia River, catching yourself your own salmon.
Like Jackson.
Yeah, baby.
I want to rip into that salmon. Like, oh my God. We have to do that together, Jackson. We have to.
Crab. Yeah, it would be beautiful, Laura.
I would be so good at it. I think I'll be really good at it. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Moving on. Love you guys so much. I just love it very much.
So that came to the end of the questions.
I just want to say, I want to bring this one up. Cece says it's Casavius there, and I'm sure he's talking. But I want to bring that up, Jackson, because I would like to have, if he's wanting to, and I would love for you to be there, obviously, because you feel like a safe point for me. But it would be great to have him on a live and kind of let everybody see all of us talk about it and be clean and clear. And just like I did with Mike Brown, at a certain point, it felt like now it feels like I can be loose and talking to him, and certain points trigger me, and I cut him off, and oh wait, but it also was like it's healing. It's really healing being like, okay, he's not my authority anymore. And yes, I might have these random instincts of talking over or saying something, but it's because this was like, it's common sense, guys. It's common psychology. It was held back and held for me, so I am going to be loud. I am going to swear. I am going to have my sailor mouth when I really feel shit. You know what I mean? So, so thank you, but fuck you very, very much.
That's not a sailor mouth, Laura. It's a sea org.
It's a sea org mouth. It's a wannabe sailor mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I can go sail with Jackson and catch some real fish. Some other, we gonna fry some other fish to fry.
Yeah, I don't go sailing, I go boating. Just so you know.
I love that. But that's what I mean. Jackson, you're still, boating for you is Rosemary's, tea with her elders and talking and being able to just talk and seeing the autumn and the spring and the leaves change. And she's sending me photos of the squirrel eating the nuts behind really pretty pictures of leaves, of the red orange leaf. Like, I love it. It's so beautiful. Anyways, Rosemary, if you're watching, we freaking love you forever. And back to Casavius is what I'm saying. It'd be very healing for all of the kids, but also selfishly for myself to have us three specifically just talking about that.
Yeah.
Right, Jackson?
Yeah. Well, I also have to give a special mention of what Amy has brought herself to do for people of society nowadays. It's just an incredible, passion, heart-filled act of hers to whatever capacity it fulfills her with. But for you to now be doing that, Amy, the celebration of lives, that is such a a good use of the juxtaposition of what we once lived to you now actually living a life of being able to help others.
It's like having compassion.
Yeah, embracing
where we didn't
compassion.
have compassion.
No.
Thank you for that, Jackson.
Yeah.
And it's like Jeff doing the, he's got his thing going too, and all of us, even just speaking out, it's the compassion in our hearts to help expose what's been going on, and yeah. You know,
and it feels good. It feels good to joke, and it feels good to be sad, and it feels good to be crying, and it feels good. It feels good to speak how we feel. We've never, ever had that. Like, even in the music you guys hear, even in the song at the beginning of the video, like, those were all sort of covered up. Like, there are definitely things you can hear it now that I've talked about it, and you're like, holy crap, this is awesome. I get it. You feel what I'm feeling. But at the same time, it's also like, imagine the songs I could be making right now with a proper producer and a band. Oh, I would have an album done in one day. Like, so anyways, it's really incredible. The whole our TV community, I say our TV community, our SPT, the SP TV community, which is really just people who are not actually declared suppressives. Most of us are, but it's people who are helping the community of people who have been declared, because they're very aware of what that means. They understand that anybody being excommunicated from a group that was supposed to be loving and saving the world and cherishing, and then being kicked out of it, makes you already feel like you're doing something wrong, especially if you believed it your whole life. And then to be found in a world where they're like, no, everybody's giving you love. People now, I said earlier, I get weird when people are like, your music's great, or this. It's hard for me to accept, but I do love it. We do love it.
Yeah.
It's just hard to hear and really dissect and digest and then really mean like, okay, I love what I'm hearing. I love what I'm feeling. I don't feel like I'm being love bombed.
Right.
Well, plus the people there in the chat are some of our buds, of which I don't truly know exactly who they are, but like Becca, all of her contributions tonight. Dylan being there, hanging with Dylan, that was fun. So yeah,
and I love the comment from Ann Walsh. Says all four of you are amazing. Stay strong. Light after the storm.
Yes. Why didn't you pull it up, Amy? Why don't you pull that up?
I did have it up.
No, it was nothing. There you go. Yeah, but I want you first, Amy, to finish. Ann Walsh said all four of you are amazing.
Yeah, she
Stay
just
strong, light after the storm. That's what I love, that light after the storm.
Yeah. I love that too.
It is. It's emerging out of the storm and being a light, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anne.
There was something about Jackson being scary. Did I scare somebody?
No, Miss Sunrise Dawn said, I've heard mentioned before how Jackson was scary to some of you back in Scientology. So to hear Laura say he's a safe place now is pretty cool.
Unfortunately, I was a modern day Nazi camp guard. So yeah, I apologize to everybody.
Right.
But
working through it.
He is pretty cool and he is a safe place.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna score really good. Nope. Don't want to read. I mean, that's great. Love you guys all. This was an amazing chat. This was an amazing SP TV party. Jeff Hawkins, thank you so much. I can't wait till you get your mic. This is going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
And I want you to know your screen is still not on the fake screen. You just don't care, right?
No, it's fine. Whatever's in the background is fine.
I love it. I love it. See? Pure rawness, guys.
This is also the kids' playroom, so.
Yeah.
Which you are playing. You are playing, Jeff.
Yeah.
You're in their playground.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, somebody messaged me privately, and I just saw that about Arbuckle. Yeah, Mom. Okay, great. Okay, we love you guys so much. Come again soon. We'll be doing this again. We'll figure out the mic situation. I'm so sorry if it's been shitty this whole time, but guess what? We're learning and loving. We love you guys. What do we say? Make sure you rock slam the like button, which means just click on that like button. And for all of you on this, Amy Scobee's got her channel.
Queen
Jackson's.
SP.
What is it?
Mine's at Queen Bee SP.
And get Jackson below. You know, once I get my shit together, I'll just put all this below this video.
Hey, when I get my shit together, I'll be doing more videos myself. So I'm getting a lot closer to having a better life schedule to accommodate that.
Yeah, and someday I may have a channel could
And
happen.
Jeff, yeah,
Yes.
I need to speak to you about some stuff on the backside, so I'll contact you a little later there, Jeffrey. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeffrey.
And you're going to
Oh
be
my God,
receiving your amazing microphone soon too. So you're going to be
Yeah.
totally professional. In fact, Jeff, all these videos, you should have already had your channel. You're way too important to not have a channel. Even if your kids or family members are running in the back, we love it. Like your information and your heart and your experience is very important. So
sounds like
Yeah.
Jeff needs to be on the
And
staff
all your
member.
blog posts.
Yeah,
those
exactly.
Those were my go-to, in the early days. All your blog posts, so good,
Oh, yeah.
so good.
And they're still
Anyway,
up.
and Jackson, I'm going to have you on my channel in the next few days. So
Yes,
get
please. Okay,
all right, guys, we love you so much.
you've got some.
Love you
questions.
all.
Stay loud, stay loud, stay proud, stay suppressive, but be suppressively proud. SP. Mwah. Safe people all across the board.
It's
Have a
so
good
free
day,
to
guys.
be an
Thank you
SP,
for being
man.
here. We love you. So
Bye.
free to be an SP.
Somebody is searching for the right child. Somebody is telling you what's right. Now you're going to have to decide what you're going